Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelists, episode 532. My name is Kyle.
My name is James.
My name is Maverick.
And we're here to talk about movies, movie lists, and movie obsession for the next hour or so. Wow, welcome to the show, James and Maverick.
Thanks, Iceman.
Yeah. I'll be Iceman. I'll take that one.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the better pilot, so.
If we had what do they call them? Handles?
Call
what do they call
signs?
them?
Handles.
Call sign. If we
Call
had call
signs, yeah.
signs, what would they be? Like not from the movie, like individual, our own call sign.
Well,
It's such a goose question.
James, you would be ZZ Top.
No, it has to be one word. It's supposed to be short.
Like
ZZ Top is like 3 words, basically.
Maverick is 3
yeah,
syllables.
Iceman's 2 syllables.
Though that's easier to say than ZZ Top.
I don't disagree. I think ZZ Top rolls off the tongue, or Iceman. You have to like Iceman. There's that S in the middle.
No,
Okay, you can't be ZZ
I
Top.
don't like it. I don't like it.
Let's call you
What's that show about people that hunt ducks or whatever?
Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty? Yeah, he could be Duck. he
That's
could
even
be
harder
Duck
to
Dynasty.
say.
What about Dynasty?
Okay,
Dynasty.
I'll take
Okay.
Dynasty.
All right, James.
It kind of sounds like a stripper name. though.
I what's the difference?
Bubbles while we're at it.
Dynasty's trying to give him his own nickname. Bubbles.
No.
Bubbles.
Speaking of nicknames, we have a guest this week. Is Mo a nickname? Motion?
Mo is a nickname for motion, yes, because motion's
Okay.
not enough.
Right. So you had to shorten it to
That's
2
right.
letters.
To Mo.
I think you're the only person I know who has a 2-letter name.
Thanks.
2-letter
James?
nickname.
Well, nickname.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I didn't want to correct him. It's all right.
Does anybody else know anybody that has a 2-letter name other than Mo?
I know a
Two-
Joe.
I know a KC.
Oh,
You know a
KC's
KC?
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
I
okay.
went to school with like a JP or something like that.
Never.
Hypothetically or for real?
No, for real. I don't remember. This was like in 1st grade, so I don't remember what his actual name was, but it was 2 initials. It was like JP or one of those.
John Paul.
Yeah, but we didn't call him John Paul or Jason Patrick or whatever his name was. He was JP.
Jason Patrick.
Sure.
Mo, what are the other 2-letter like nicknames that people have?
2-letter.
You know all about this.
Al.
I'm just assuming you're the expert.
You're obviously
Wow.
the
Well,
expert.
I've never known a KC. Like I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Bo.
And Casey, the only Casey I know is spelled like Casey, Kasey.
Mhm.
Right.
I don't know any 2-letter.
Yeah, KC and Mo are the only 2 that I can think
Oh,
of.
there's Al. Kyle said Al.
Oh yeah, Al.
Bo.
Okay.
And
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
it rhymes with Mo.
I don't know any Als or Bows though. So
Well, I'm asking if you knew an Al or a Bo. Just
Doe.
have you
James,
heard
do you ever
of
go
it?
by Jaw?
all the time. All the time.
Ja Morant.
Ja is a name.
Ja Morant,
Ja
one of the best
Rule.
players in the NBA. And Ja Rule.
Ja
Nice.
Rule's an
Yeah, Ja
apostrophe. That's like a.
no, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It's
No.
not. It's not Ja apostrophe
Is
rule.
Ja
There's
is
no
it
apostrophe. He did
Oh,
not
there
think
isn't.
to put an
Okay.
apostrophe in his name. No, it's just Ja Rule, and it's Ja Morant. No apostrophe.
Kyle was so confident,
I know.
but then your 2 being overconfident totally knocked him down.
There's an apostrophe there.
He would have fought that to the
I
death.
would've.
Dr. Dre has an apostrophe too.
Yeah, it's between the D and the R.
There's 2 letters. Do you think people call Dr. Dre just Doctor?
Yeah.
I don't
Like
think
in his real
anyone
life.
Doctor,
calls
don't
him
just stand there,
doctor.
operate.
I think they call him
I
the
don't-
Doctor.
What?
No,
Eminem called him Doctor.
no, he calls him Dr. Dre in that song. Don't Dr. Dre operate.
Yeah, but he says Doctor, don't just stand there, operate.
No, he says Doctor. Oh, I'm not sure. I can't remember. I
What
think he says
song
Dr.
is
Dre.
I don't think we should talk
That's not
about
Eminem.
hip-hop
That's not
anymore.
Eminem.
I don't think we should talk about hip hop anymore.
Too much knowledge being
No,
dropped.
Zach, that is Eminem.
Yeah. Doctor, don't just stand there.
Oh my gosh, what are we
Operate.
looking up?
I'm
The
gonna stand by
lyrics?
Dr. Dre because that operate
Oh
that
my
rhymes with
gosh.
operate. Not
That's the-
well,
Yeah.
but
Corniest line I've ever heard. Wow.
I'm just saying it's in there.
Well, welcome to the podcast, Mo.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on this hip hop podcast.
Yeah, episode 532.
All hip-hop
Last
all
time
the
you were
time.
on the podcast, it was episode 520. So not that
Wow.
long ago. Yeah.
And it was just me and you, James.
No, I think there were more. We saw the Batman.
Wow,
Oh,
he
I
forgot
was-
us already, Zach.
Was it the time before that? It was one that you...
Yeah, I think it was the time before.
Oh,
Okay,
that.
sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. I forget everybody but you too, so it's fine.
Pretty much every
Thanks,
week,
James.
James is like, "Can we bring Mo on? Can we bring Mo on? You guys busy?"
Thanks, James. That's nice of you. Well, I almost missed
Actually, this week was not my idea. This week was Zach's idea. Zach was like, we need to get Mo on this episode because Mo is a
Fighter
pilot.
pilot.
And I love the way you guys tag team me on this one. So Zacchaeus texted me first, and then he just stopped responding. I was like,
What?
I could probably do
Yeah.
that. What day were you thinking? What time? And he stopped responding, and then you started responding. So I love the way you guys tag team that. That was very well played. You didn't leave
That-
your wingman, which was good.
That was not
Yeah.
coordinated. I think Zach told me to contact you
Okay.
Yep.
like way before he even contacted you.
Oh
Possibly.
yeah, I did.
Okay.
So I
Gotcha.
don't know.
And then sensing that James dropped the ball,
I didn't drop
had
the
to
ball. I picked it up.
engage.
I didn't even know you had dropped it.
Well, I think it's interesting that I just got off a flight and almost missed this podcast because we were on the tarmac because there was lightning. And apparently they don't let the workers move the gates when there's lightning, which I think is a good safety thing. But I didn't know
Sure.
that. So we were sitting on the tarmac and I kept looking at my watch and I was like, I am like just going to make it. So an airplane got me here.
Nice. I'm going to actually record this Zoom, which I forgot to click, and hope we don't need a backup.
in case we do,
Yeah.
we have a special guest named Mo. Hi, Mo.
It's going to be a short intro
Hey.
if we need
I have a lot of friends with two-letter names.
Is one of them Al?
There's Al, yeah.
Don't
And
just stand
there's-
there,
And there's
operate.
Bo too.
You're very knowledgeable.
And there's
Mo,
Doctor.
what kind of plane did you fly here in?
It was a 737.
737. See,
Boeing.
you can tell that Mo cares about airplanes because I never know what I'm flying.
Oh, I have to know. And it was really cool because behind me, don't know the difference between a 767 and a 777. It was one of those two. It was behind us because we couldn't get into the gate. They were lining up. It was so cool that they're huge compared to a 737, which is big until you see one of those next to it. It's crazy.
I think the
Really?
777 is the Dreamliner, which is huge. I don't know
Is
if the
it?
67 is the tiny one or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Thanks. Yeah, I didn't know the difference. Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Is the one that's huge? Is that the one that has like the little bubble top and there's like a second floor for a little bit of it?
No, it's a 747.
Okay.
And then there's an Airbus kind of version where it's got a little bubble top and it looks really awkward. 777, 747 looks beautiful. That's iconic.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, and I over the years I've seen on Facebook.
They should have made this movie with only like 747s, like just commercial aircraft.
with
Would've been
with the
amazing.
camera and the pilot in
That's
the
right.
cockpit, and you'll see there's nothing going on behind them because it's just
And the
Yeah.
wings keep hitting the other planes that are filming.
That would have been awesome. I'm waiting for that movie.
Mo, from your Facebook, I know that you are like a big fan of air shows.
A little bit. Yeah, a little
You
bit.
go to air shows. How often do you go to air shows?
Ooh, probably 5 a year, 4 to 5
5
a year
a
at
year.
least. Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely Jacksonville. Definitely the one in Lakeland's pretty awesome. And then the one at MacDill Air Force Base is my favorite. That one's amazing.
What's the coolest thing you've seen in person at an air show?
Actually, when I was in Lakeland, I was minding my own business and I was looking at some shirts and stuff, and the Blue Angels were doing their thing.
oh cool.
Well, the Blue Angels thought it was really funny to come. So the way the Lakeland one is set, it's actually there's a forest there, kind of by the runway, which is a little weird. So I knew that the Blue Angels were flying overhead, right? But then out of nowhere, and I swear he trimmed the top of my head, flew right over my head, and I just squatted because I was ready to hit the ground because this thing, it flew so fast and felt like it was so close. And I didn't know it was coming from behind me. It was amazing. It was just such a cool experience. And I'm usually really aware of those things. And I had no idea. It was really fun, though. But
Nice.
yeah.
Awesome.
Zacchaeus is not happy. He's
I'm
intense.
surprised they would get that close because, accidents.
Blue Angels take chances and stuff, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. They're my favorite to watch. They do things that just boggle the mind. It's incredible how talented those guys are. And then if you've ever seen them film how they do it, they're actually in a classroom and they basically close their eyes and they go and they do a count. It's almost like a musician. Like it's like they go by counts. It's like 1, 2, 3, bank left or bank right. 1, 2, 3, bank left. It's really cool to watch. It's pretty amazing.
So they practice in their minds.
Yeah, before they get in the air. Yeah. It's pretty wild. It's a really great documentary out there with them.
Like bobsledders.
Like Cool Runnings, exactly.
Just like that. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's where they got it from the Jamaican team. Because I think I saw the Jamaican team there practicing with them.
Really?
And in the documentary, I think it's there in the background. You have to look real close.
That's awesome. And if they crash the plane, they have to carry it on their shoulders.
Right.
That's terrible. Wow.
Do you know I was so disappointed to find out that the real story, they didn't carry the bobsled on their shoulders.
No.
They did not?
No, they just kind of walked away mad.
But it's in the movie.
Yeah, I was very
the movie
disappointed.
It's a
takes
Disney movie.
some licenses.
Disney does not take licenses.
They were not like even competitive at all. Like in the movie, they're like, wow, they're actually doing kind of well. In real life, they were not doing well. They were there. That was great, but they were
I didn't know
the
that
podium.
at all.
It was on equipment malfunction. They just hit a corner at the wrong angle and tipped over.
Oh,
So-
wow.
Did you hear about that half pipe snowboarder that qualified for the Olympics just by showing up to enough events?
Oh, and he
Like,
would just
but
go
she was terrible.
up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
It's
I
the
didn't know about
best
that.
because they're literally televising the event, and then all of a sudden the snowboarder who can barely make her way up the side of the half pipe
Oh, wow.
is going down. And it's
Because to
just
qualify
night
for the
and
Olympics,
day.
you had to like place in the top 15 in like a certain number of international events.
Okay.
And so she just applied to ones that less than 15 people applied to.
That's pretty genius, but also terrible at the same time.
She was
great.
also from
Yeah.
like a non-snowboarding country, which was helpful.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
Yeah.
crazy. Well, we have Mo here with us because we're gonna talk Top Gun, which is flight related, aviation related, I guess would
Yes.
be a better term than flight.
Very exciting.
So we're gonna talk that and do a little Tom Cruise trivia, and Mo brought a little surprise for us as well.
I did.
We're
Tom
gonna
Cruise
review.
is going to be here. He's right behind the curtain. Stay-
I can't
Oh,
wait.
Not yet.
Now I feel
Not
bad
yet.
for making
Just
fun of
a
his
few
teeth
more minutes,
beforehand.
Tom. We'll be right with you.
Right. There's M&M's there. Right there. He's fine.
He's fine.
So we're going to do all that right after we do a little bit of housekeeping. Don't forget, there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go to YouTube, click in the search bar, type Cinereelists, REEL with an S on the end. Find us there and listen to the podcast while you watch it. You could also support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Cinereelists. You could leave us an Apple podcast review. That would be helpful. 5 stars only. You could also leave us a listener email at heyguys@cinereelists.com. Send us a comment, a question, a list suggestion, a movie suggestion, any of those kinds of things you can send via email. You guys ready to dive in?
Tom Cruise just said he signed up.
Perfect. Should he leave us a 5-star review?
Oh,
He
yeah,
did. And
I
he's
have
a
it
Patreon
right here in
supporter
front
now,
of
too.
Well, we'll talk about it next week.
His
Let's
username
talk-
is Middletooth.
That's his call sign. He already has
Middletooth.
a call sign.
Oh, yes,
No,
that's right.
Maverick was taken on all the iTunes accounts, so no matter what number combination you wanted, they were all used. So
Maverick 5-4.
do you know that Tom Cruise, and Tom, I know you know this yourself, but correct me if I'm wrong. He dresses up in disguise and sees like every movie that comes to theaters in the theater.
He
He
doesn't.
says urban legend. He said he only did that twice.
Oh, okay.
Every movie.
Well, these are his words, not mine.
I don't necessarily trust Tom's propaganda messages about his love for movies.
Really?
So
Interesting.
Tom Cruise absolutely has a very PR related focus of how he is just loves cinema, right? And that has been his consistent message ever since he jumped on a couch.
Sure.
Well, we had Tom Cruise as a guest, and he just left.
You pissed him off, Zach.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Wow.
It was the couch comment.
Thanks, Zach.
Sorry, Tom.
He
I
he
didn't
bends
know.
over backwards so that everyone knows he just loves cinema so much. He just is obsessed with it's the only thing he talks about is how much he loves the cinema.
The moment the word couch is mentioned, he's out.
Yeah. Zach,
That's
did you
right.
not read the writer beforehand?
I gave it to
Come
each
on.
of you.
He didn't even jump up and down on the couch.
Don't say
kinda
the
did.
couch word. Stop it.
We're not talking.
Okay, fine. Psychology.
It was couch, Katie. Those are only words not to say. And height.
Kidman.
Okay.
Middle
Yeah.
tooth.
Scientology.
Okay, so
It's
maybe
a
there
lot
were
of
more.
words.
Maybe there were more.
A lot of words.
He's touchy. He's touchy.
All right, let's
can be.
talk
He loves
Top
cinema.
Gun Maverick. Top Gun : Maverick.
Colon.
It's in theaters only. We're gonna get into it right after this clip.
My dad believed in you. I'm not gonna make the same mistake. You know what happens to you if you go through with this.
I have everything I need to have you court-martialed and dishonorably discharged.
The end is inevitable, Maverick.
What are you gonna do?
That was Top Gun Maverick, a 2022 American action drama directed by Joseph Kosinski, starring Tom Cruise, Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly, John Hamm, Glenn Powell, Lewis Pullman, Ed Harris, and Val Kilmer, amongst others. The official IMDb plot synopsis for Top Gun: Maverick is: after more than 30 years of service as one of the Navy's top aviators, Pete Mitchell is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot and dodging the advancement in rank that would ground him. So I definitely
Wait,
want to
that's
talk.
it?
That's it.
I know, I was waiting.
That's it.
That's like the first 5 minutes of the movie.
That's what you want. That's what I want IMDb to do. Set it up.
There's no like,
Yeah.
however, or until.
There's a little more to the movie than that.
Yeah, but
that's
it's
for sure.
okay. That is a setup, I guess.
So we're definitely going to talk Top Gun: Maverick, but I think we need to get a baseline for people's thoughts about the original film and what their expectation was for this one as well. I'd say this is long anticipated, right? It's like 30 plus years in the making, at least on some level. And not only that, but it was supposed to be released like in June of 2020, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2020.
So this movie has been signed, sealed, and not delivered for a few years now, thanks to the global pandemic. And from what I understand, they offered insane amounts of money to try to get him to release this in theaters or on streaming services early, and he turned it down every time.
I'm sure Paramount Plus executives were trying to get this movie, like, give it to us, let us put on our streamer. It'll be huge for them.
Yeah.
Yep. And he fought it.
Yeah, but Tom Cruise, being such a fan of cinema,
Every movie in disguise.
self-professed fan of cinema. Is he really a fan of cinema in general, or just his movies? He's a fan of his movies in the cinema.
Thank you.
No, like on interviews, it's all he talks about.
His
Just-
movies in the cinema, or like just
No.
movies in general being in the cinema.
Yeah, just the power of movies and
Well, cinema's been good to him.
Yeah. I think like he's also been described in the press as like the world's last true movie star. And I think he has a vested interest in not being perceived as anything other than like the guy you go pay $10 to $15 to go see at a movie theater, right?
oh yeah,
I
He
feel
definitely
he always
wants-
delivers.
People to focus on that part of him the most, of the movie stardom, not everything else going on.
That's true. Yeah,
So-
maybe that's part of it too, is driving it towards the output rather than the behind the scenes drama
Exactly.
of his life. Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense. What did you guys think of the original 80s? Are we all fans of this movie? What's the vibe?
So I rewatched Top Gun very recently, like I'm sure you guys did also. And
I did.
you did, Zach?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And I always suspected this, and I kind of confirmed it. Top Gun 86 is I don't know, it's either a good bad movie or it's a movie where it's where its parts are greater than the whole.
So if you're watching the video feed, Motion's jaw just dropped when Kyle called Top Gun a bad movie.
I'm gonna
No,
have
a
to
good
follow
bad
Tom out
movie.
the door.
A good bad movie.
Good
Right.
bad
You
movie.
said it confirmed it.
For me. It's because it's not a favorite of mine. It's not a movie that like I'm can't wait to watch Top Gun again. But it's definitely a movie I'm not sure the first time I saw it, but I was aware of it as a kid. Like the Chuck E. Cheese characters would sing Danger Zone, right? I was totally into Blue Angels. I had the posters. So I can't tell you like when I actually saw Top Gun the movie, but it was something I was very aware of my entire life. But as an actual movie, I don't think it's great. I think it's fun. I like it. And I think that there are a ton of iconic moments from it. But as a whole, I don't know if it
It's-
actually works.
Yeah, you're right. That doesn't sound like a good movie at all.
No, there's a difference.
Fun, enjoyable, iconic moments.
No, but I'm just saying, like when you actually examine what's actually happening in this movie, you're like, is this actually thought out? Is there a decent plot to this movie? There's this action scene at the end where we're maybe starting World War III with Russia. I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think like I said, the moments of it, like whether it be the soundtrack or the quotes, or it's well filmed when it comes to the fights, also outshine the other aspects of it. So I like it. I'm not in love with it. Motion's shaking his head here.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You can criticize one of the greatest movies ever made. That's fine.
It's not a great movie. It's not a great movie.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the original Top Gun to me is one of the best movies. It does everything it needs to do. It captures every emotion you have. It takes you
Yeah.
to a place we've never been.
Yeah.
Is the plot incredible and intense and twists and turns? No, but it's not supposed to be that. It's like a muscle car
Simple.
on film, and it's beautiful.
Shoot it.
Yeah, exactly. Make it beautiful, make it incredible, show us
Done.
things we've never seen before,
Right.
like the catapults and stuff like that, which we've never
yeah.
seen. And
Haven't seen it.
yeah, amazing.
I rewatched it. I liked it even more
Yes.
this most recent time than I ever have, and I always liked it. This movie Top Gun 86 as we're calling it is so charming, and I love the romance in it actually.
Oh my god.
Which is like no, the romance in it is fantastic for a movie that like I forgot about the romance element of it, besides being just like a side part, but it's a big part of the movie.
Mhm.
And I like how it's done, like because it takes its time. He's very patient. There's plenty of times where he could have like fast forwarded things, and he didn't. He just kind of like took his time. I like that element. You don't see that a ton
Following her
in
into the
movies.
bathroom the first time he meets her, that's not fast forwarding things. That's him playing it the long game.
He politely asked if he could take a shower.
He wanted to take a shower.
Yeah.
He wanted to
No,
take
no,
a
no,
shower.
no,
It wasn't.
no. The bathroom at the bar. He follows her into the women's room.
That was because he was just doing a little thing just to make
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
think
that was
that
a-
they
he was
did it.
he was
That was
playing
a-
it
it was a
cool,
bit.
taking it easy, following her into the bathroom. Nothing,
Like you've
the
never
long
done that
game.
before. I do
No,
that every
I've
day.
never followed a woman into the bathroom.
Oh, that's
But
not
no,
good.
this is at the hard deck.
Thank you. Don't go below the hard deck.
Yeah.
Following someone to a bathroom is below the hard deck.
Well, that has to be
What-
clarified.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
I don't think it was a gendered bathroom. I think it was just the bathroom.
No, it was definitely the
It was
women's
very
bathroom.
ahead of its time. It was very ahead of its time in so many ways. This movie is amazing.
No, I really love the original Top Gun. I think it's super fun. It's so watchable. It is
Ugh.
just a lot of fun watching. Absolutely.
James, did you
I
like it?
agree. I mean, it's iconic. It is exactly what it is, which is like full of like bravado and machismo, and it's very patriotic / jingoistic at times, and it's one of those things where you can dislike it for all those things, but if you're into it, it's like the most maximalized version of that, right? Like I'm sure working on an aircraft carrier 365 days a year is not glamorous at all for the people that are doing it. It's probably pretty brutal, but this movie makes it look like the coolest job anybody could ever have, right?
Yep.
You're just like hanging out at sunset constantly, evidently.
It's always magic hour and those planes are taking off and landing.
For sure. The soundtrack was like impossibly
Oh yeah.
perfect for the time and the content and those types of things. And there's definitely some things that date it. I mean, I don't think the bathroom scene would have happened in a movie like that's released today, just because it'd be hard to square just where we're at today. But they'd come up with some other way for him to be acceptably aggressive. I think that was acceptably aggressive in 1986. There's also, we'll get into this, but there is a shocking difference between the love scenes in Top Gun 86
Oh my God.
and Top Gun Maverick.
The face licking. There's so much.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
much
it's.
face licking in 86.
I watched
Easily.
the old Top Gun, the
Yeah.
1986 one, recently, and I was just like, I don't remember this much French kissing in any movie, like even like erotic thrillers. I don't
But
think go quite as hard as this movie does.
It's not like it's a weird kind of French kissing where their mouths are like only halfway touching, so all you see is like silhouetted tongues wrapping around each other.
How did I miss all this?
It is the
I
oddest.
missed this too. I have no memory of this.
yeah.
And I
know
just
that
watched
they
it
French
like
kiss.
5 days ago.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, you need to watch
Yeah.
it recently.
No,
I don't know
you
how
may have
Zach
just
didn't
ruined
notice
it
it.
for me. No,
It goes
I'm
on.
looking at the bike. I'm looking at his jacket, and the sun set behind them as they're kissing, and I'm like, I would
All that
love
stuff
to
is
be able
great.
to do that. Like,
I like
need
all
to
that
get a
stuff
bike
too.
and just yeah.
It's mostly
uh,
in the purple silhouetted love scene where I mean the choice was I'm gonna lick you, and it was
And it's going to go on for like a minute and a
Yeah.
half.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did
who's-
you
I
get
don't
a
know if that was a
bootleg
Tony
version
Scott
of this
decision or
movie?
Yeah,
No.
are you sure you saw the same Top Gun?
I watched it in glorious
Yeah,
4K.
No, James and I are on
Tom
the
Cruise
same
like
page on this
swallowing
one.
a woman.
Now
Basically.
he's swallowing a woman
I mean,
with a
I'm-
pink filter, with a
like,
purple filter.
Kelly
He shows us a
McGillis
Prince video.
disappears for that scene. Where'd she go? I don't know. Ask Tom.
yeah, it's pretty intense, but good. It's fun. It's a fun movie to watch. I for as weird as some of those things feel today, it's fun to watch, even in retrospect. And yeah, I love Top Gun. I was ready for another one. They definitely waited long enough. That's for sure.
Yeah, how many years was it?
1986. So somebody
35.
else do the math. 35 years.
Oh,
Supposed to be 33 years, I believe.
wow.
Ended up being 35.
I don't know how that math works, but
36 years. That make you feel better?
yeah.
I'm taking my age. I was born 3 years before the movie, so do some math. And
I
All
will
right,
say
so
it was
it's-
worth the wait.
It's 35 to 36 years later. They release a new one, Top Gun: Maverick.
Why do we have to
we've
say
all seen
colon
it.
every time? Is that
It's
a
part of the
rule?
title. It's part of the title.
It just sounds weird,
It's-
and especially with that
Mo,
French
it's
kissing
one of
and the
those
whole
James
thing.
rules. The
Okay.
punctuation, you got to
Okay.
say it.
All right, Maverick colon or whatever. Yeah, sorry.
You don't have to say it.
I refuse.
I just like being proper.
Okay. I'm not.
And
I'm in
so
I'll stay that way.
Capital T op, capital G on, capital M Maverick.
what did you guys think of the second Top Gun movie? Why don't we go first with Mo, since he's the guest and the expert?
Well, thank you. I just loved everything about it. Like the first and the third act were like flawless. I mean, I'd have to get nitpicky to say that the second act maybe dragged a little bit, but I just thought it gave us enough nostalgia. It gave you enough new stuff. I love that Tom Cruise didn't take himself too seriously in this one. That's actually one of my favorite parts about this. He wasn't playing, Top Gun 86 Maverick. He was playing Maverick would be today. And I just, that part was endearing to me. Like, especially, I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything like that, but at the very beginning of the movie, the first big action scene he has, um, and then to help you guys, he walks into that diner.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
to me, that's just, I mean, he set the tone right then and there. And he said, this is not the same Maverick, that I'm not trying to be the guy I was when I was that age. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm really taking this seriously, how I would handle things today. And I just thought that was really cool because I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to be all these glamorous shots and they were going to make him look great and all this stuff. And that's the part really they kind of closed the loop for me completely. And I was like, you can't do this any better. This is perfect.
Nice.
Nice. James, what do you think?
I generally agree. I mean, I think there's a real danger with waiting like too long to sequelize something. I think the track record for waiting, decades to do a sequel on something it's just a hard hill to climb for sure. And I think they did it about as well as I could imagine with this movie. It's been so long since we've been with these characters, and like, where do you even start? How do you give the audience enough backstory that they jump on board quickly with a character that you haven't seen for 30 plus years? And I think they did a good job of basically telling you pretty quickly what happened to some of the old characters, at least the ones that matter. And then what's happened to him. They didn't make his last 30 years overcomplicated.
Right.
Like, what has happened to him over the last 30 years makes total sense for the kind of guy he was back then, type of thing. And I liked that. They could have easily started the movie and he's a 5-star general and he hasn't touched a plane in 50 years and, all those kinds of things. And then you write the script backwards and all of a sudden he has to get in a plane again. There's 10 different versions of this movie that would be overcomplicated and not really make sense for the character as you left him 30 years ago. But I think the framing they give him in this one is so simple and makes so much sense compared to where the last movie left you that it was like a perfect choice. If I had to complain about the movie, it would be that this is still Tom Cruise's movie.
Mhm.
It is not a movie where he's handing the reins to other people. You know what I mean? It's
True.
It's not like he's getting old and they're going to make a bunch of Top Gun movies. And so he's letting other people shine in a movie that he's also in. No, this is a Tom Cruise movie and all the other characters revolve around what's going on with Tom Cruise. And so I'm not mad at the movie for not being that, but I mean, is this it for Top Gun? Probably.
No,
No?
absolutely not.
You think he's going to do another one?
I think he will be in the next one, but it will be Miles Teller and the other people.
I don't know
Really,
if I
you
want
think-
a Top Gun the new class.
It will be Top Gun.
But that's what
Yeah.
they did. That's what they did. That's
Sure.
what they
Yeah.
established.
in fifth generation fighters. yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
How many times did they say 5th generation fighters in this movie?
A lot.
Well, it's a good thing they did because a lot of people don't know about fifth generation fighters.
Apparently, like this movie got my awareness of 5th generation fighters much
I
higher
didn't
than
even
it
know-
used to be.
I didn't even know that was a term.
Now you do. That's what I'm saying.
I definitely know. I also definitely know what the mission was.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
they explained it over and over and
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah,
I mean, I was like, how many times are you going to explain?
it was clear.
It was very clear.
They wanted
what
to
the
they were
make
trying
opposite
to
of that
accomplish.
is like not quite being sure what we're trying to accomplish here,
Right.
and they did not make that
No,
mistake.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Definitely
They-
not.
Whoever plans their missions watches a lot of Star Wars and was like, I got it. we
For
got a
sure.
trench. We got a tiny target.
We got an air shaft.
Right, we got an air shaft.
People
we've
love
got,
this crap.
we got to have a Obi-Wan Kenobi moment here. We can do this. We can make this happen.
I also like how the movie took a lot of the 80s-ness of the original and pushed it into this movie just enough for you to be like, yeah, this is the world I remember from back then. I mean,
Mhm.
even having watched the original Top Gun just 3 nights ago, the movies definitely look different. Like the text on
Sure.
screen, despite the fact that I was watching a 4K here at home, the text on screen nowadays is so much more crisp than the one from 1986. The framing of the shots is just so much better today compared to 1986. But it still feels like the same world because a lot of the elements they carried over, and the ones that that they needed to get rid of, I think they gently got rid of, like the tongue kissing and some of the other stuff that was just like, okay, we don't have to carry this over. Nobody wants to really see this again, so we'll get rid of that. But, the shirtless dudes on the beach and the, playing of pool and like all of that type of stuff, they made sure it was in here and it all felt natural. So I had a good time with it, bottom line. And I'm curious to know what Kyle thought.
Yeah, I don't have a ton to add to what you guys are saying. I think we're all kind of saying the same things. I'm curious to know where our star landings end up. I'm sure they'll be very vastly different, but maybe we all feel the same so far on this. Um, I will say I got chills at the very beginning when they kind of recreated the opening of original Top Gun with the the orange silhouetted, just kind of going through the procedure of this is how you launch and land on an aircraft carrier, which still astonishes me. I mean, it's an amazing achievement of both engineering and of talents of the pilots and the crew. It's something that's very cool. And they got the Harold Faltermeyer music playing, and then they go into Danger Zone. All that was awesome. Yeah, I would say most of the callbacks to the '80s worked for me. There was, I guess, we can. It's not a spoiler, but if we're gonna have a spoiler section, I don't want to ruin things. So there was a couple
Okay.
callbacks. I was like, okay, this seems a little like shoehorned in here, but that's fine for the plot of it. What no one has mentioned yet though is just like the actual cinematography of this movie is amazing
Mhm.
because this is I can't think of a movie that felt as much of like a roller coaster ride since maybe Gravity, where a vast majority of this movie is filmed, or at least like the flight scenes are filmed with the cameras in the cockpit and you're watching the actors obviously pretend to fly these planes, and then just behind them the horizon is just doing spinning in circles and going left and right, and like you're really feeling this visceral motion of like, okay, this must be what it's like to be in a fighter jet. Obviously I've never been in a fighter jet. We're not feeling the g forces that they're feeling, but just getting that visual representation of the horizon just swinging left and right and over is really cool. um and then just the in-air stunts were amazing. Like the one where they have to go up the mountain and then like invert to go then down the other side. I'm assuming those were actual pilots pulling off those maneuvers, which blows my mind. And then just to how they filmed that so interestingly with such energy. I mean, that's I think if anything, this movie is worth seeing, especially in the theater, just for that moment or those moments of them in the cockpit as those planes are flying around. And then you can, I mean, for me, I could take or leave some of their stuff going on with the plot with it. But I do think it took a lot of what worked from the '86 version and kept that, and then excised some of the stuff that maybe didn't work or felt dated. So it didn't feel too nostalgic, which this movie definitely could have just been a whole bunch of callbacks.
Mhm.
Zach, tell us how much you hated this movie.
Okay. I think all of you guys are crazy for not just coming out and saying that this movie was the coolest thing ever.
Nice.
This movie was awesome. And I'm going to say, so of the like legacy sequels, right, that get made, some property was popular and then they wait too long to make a sequel. This is hands down, without a doubt, the best legacy sequel ever made. Of any property I can think of where they take some time and then make a sequel, this one is the best. It was made by people who absolutely know what made the first movie great. And they didn't just repeat it. They updated it. They took here's where we are 30 years later. And this is the same universe, the same story 30 years later. And I feel like they executed it to perfection from start to finish. From the very beginning, that first scene that Mo was talking about, that's a great scene. That is a good scene. And they have so many common elements with the first movie, but it doesn't just feel like pandering.
Agree.
It feels like, no. This feels at place in this world, because of course it would be in this world. For some reason, it was in the first movie because they exist in the same place, you know? I feel like the Maverick character is such a fleshed out character, right? He's a consistent character. This is someone that will always push the envelope if he believes that that's what's needed to get the job done. Not if he thinks it's the right thing to do or like the best thing to do, but if it has a chance of getting what needs to get done, then he's going to try it. And he's so consistent about it. I love that commitment to that character. It kind of reminded me of an optimistic version of Uncut Gems. So like in Uncut Gems, Adam Sandler is such a consistent person, right? In this dystopian personality. Whereas Maverick is like the opposite of Adam Sandler's character, where he is who he is. And he lives in a world where those kind of things tend to work out. So that's great. But it's just it's so much fun to watch. The cinematography, like Kyle was talking about, Tom Cruise basically said, I'm not making this movie unless it's in the contract. We're not using CGI planes. So we're going to use real planes, real flying. This is actually going to happen and we're going to film it. We're not going to have CGI planes. And oh my goodness, what a difference that makes. I mean, it's so apparent that these are not CGI planes. There was maybe one shot where my mind was like, is that a CGI plane?
Is that
but
where like the one goes between the two?
No, it wasn't that one.
That
It
was
was one of the aircraft landings.
Okay.
Felt like, is that real? But otherwise, it just these were real planes, and it was so visceral and physical, and it was awesome. It was so cool. I read an article by an actual fighter pilot, former fighter pilot, that said she was doing like the anti-G maneuvers, you know, like body maneuvers that you do, you know, to protect yourselves from blacking out, while watching it just automatically.
Oh,
You know,
really?
her body just
Wow.
naturally was
That's
doing those things
crazy.
automatically during some of those scenes.
That's crazy.
Because it's so entrenched in her. Yeah, I thought this movie was a ton of fun. I love the new cast. I thought they did a good job of not trying to focus on everybody, but just like pick a couple of people to focus more on. Miles Teller, who, you know, he's a friend of the show. We like him on this show. I think we haven't heard a lot from him in the past few years. I think Fantastic Four didn't do him any favors. But I thought, I was shocked by how much he looked like Goose.
Yeah. Was he
Shocked.
Did they do any like makeup to his face to make him look like Anthony Edwards, or they think it was that's just what he looks like?
I don't think so, because it did look like Miles Teller to me.
It did, but like I don't like, you know, in Looper, JGL wore prosthetics to look more like Bruce Willis.
He did, and you, that was like so obvious all the time, you know.
Well, yeah,
like
you don't like that movie.
so
okay.
So no, it wasn't they had, by changing how he looks to make him look more Bruce Willis, it didn't look exactly like JGL, but this looked exactly like Miles Teller.
Okay.
He just also happened to look exactly like Goose, which was incredible. What a Goose stash can do for you. Yeah, Mo?
I thought the mannerisms too, like the way he even moved. Like there was a couple of times where I was like, "Is that like are they doing something weird with Goose?" Like I was really surprised by that. I thought that was really well done. And he's an awesome actor anyway. I think he's such an underrated actor anyway. But yeah,
I agree.
Thought it was great.
This is what I want to say before, since we got into it. I did not buy that all these fighter pilots would sing Great Balls of Fire together. I just don't think that's a song that's like within the 20 to young 30-year-olds like knowledge or lexicon. Like I know it's a callback to the movie, and I can understand maybe the Goose character or the son of Goose character having like this song be important to him because of his connection to his dad, but then like the whole bar singing Great Balls of Fire and all these like young pilots singing along, is like, I don't buy that they know this song.
I mean, I agree if you're gonna think about it logically, but
Yeah.
it's movie magic, man.
I know.
I mean,
it took me out of it.
There might have been the same argument in 1986. You know what I mean? That
Sure.
20 to 30-year-olds in 1986 wouldn't be singing that song either. You know what I mean?
So I knew that song as a kid, but then I also wonder, is that because of Top Gun
Because of the
86?
movie.
Is that why I knew that song? Because it was
Yes.
popular from Top Gun 86. So I don't know.
Kyle.
Uh-oh.
Obviously, his dad would sing it all the time,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
His dad would play it on the piano. So what's his call sign? Rooster.
Rooster.
So Rooster,
which is
obviously,
not great either.
they got to pick their own. Did you know that?
The
actors got to pick their own.
Oh, did they really?
So yeah, so he wanted another bird, basically.
Okay.
Rooster.
So is it an important song to Rooster? So Rooster definitely knows
of course,
the song,
I
right?
agree. Rooster knows that song. I'm not gonna argue with that.
And then he knows all these people. He's gone through Top Gun with these people. He would have sat down at a piano and played Great Balls of Fire many times before on drunken bar nights. They would be very familiar with the song through Rooster.
So he like forced it upon them. He's like, I'm gonna keep playing this song on drunken bar night. You're all gonna this is our song, okay? Trust me.
Yeah, they start
Have
with
you
that
never had
one.
a group of friends? Like that is how those things work, right? Someone is obsessed with something, and then everyone becomes obsessed with it.
Generally speaking, to my knowledge, because I'm usually the one who's obsessed with something, people are like, come on, dude, let it go.
Wow,
They start with that song and then roll right into Alice in Chains.
A Rooster, yeah. That would have been funny. They're all doing karaoke of Alice in Chains.
Yep. Okay, so Miles Teller, there's a TV show that I've been watching on Paramount Plus. If you need more Miles Teller in your life, there's a TV show called The Offer, which is based on like the making of The Godfather. They turned it into a fictional making of, based on the memoir of one of the producers of The Godfather. And Miles Teller is awesome in it. And they're maybe halfway through the season, but it's good, and I'm keeping up with it.
Okay.
Speaking of producers, one thing that I thought was really cool was that they gave props to Don Simpson in this with Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yep.
And that actually that kind of just hit my heart, because I was like, you know what? They really thought through this movie, and the people that made it what it is, made the original Top Gun what it is, and they paid homage to them. And I just thought that was really pretty cool.
Didn't they even use their old production company logo at the beginning of this
old
movie?
logo.
Yeah, that was cool. Yep.
The split tree one. Yeah, I thought that was really awesome.
The cinematography too, like I watched an interview with one of the cast members, and they were talking about how they went to camera and lighting school for 2 weeks because
they do their own camera.
Yeah, because the actors had to turn on their own camera, and it wasn't only camera. When they were in the planes, it was like 5 cameras they had to maintain.
Oh wow, I didn't realize it was 5. Wow.
And they went to like crash course makeup school just in case something screwed up with their makeup. Like they're up in a plane, there's nobody that's gonna fix it for them, so they had to do it on their own.
I mean, imagine the challenge of directing someone who's in a plane, and like you need a specific shot of like, all right, the plane's gonna do this rotation, this plane's gonna fly by, and then you need to say this line. Right. And then there has to be this perfect timing. And if someone messes it up, they're like, all right, well, take 20 minutes to get the planes to circle back around again so we can get that exact same shot. Like I'm technically, and it being a Tom Cruise and knowing what he's done with other movies, it doesn't surprise me that he would want to do that with this movie too. But I just like the actual craftsmanship and the planning and the logistics into getting these incredible shots is something.
This is why they do it CGI.
Yeah, right.
It's so much easier. Yeah. One other thing that I really appreciate about this film, and James is not going to understand this.
Okay.
So just a warning.
I'm ready.
Is these are supposed to be like the best pilots in the world, right?
Oh my gosh.
And then Maverick is like the best of the best. This movie made you believe that they're actually really, really good at flying fighter jets.
Oh, absolutely.
I believed it.
Absolutely.
I don't know anything about flying fighter jets, but it looked to me like they were the best of the best.
I mean, are they really, really good at it? I think Maverick's really good at it, but I don't know if they are because he smokes them. I mean,
well, just because he's better than them, but they also seemed very, very
not
good.
Not better,
at it to
like
me.
Twice as good.
But it
by
makes
the numbers.
But it makes sense, right? Because in Maverick's day, they were more like reckless, and they were like more like go for everything that the plane can do, push it to the limits.
Yeah, I mean,
and
Maverick
today,
definitely was. Yeah.
Today, it's more like analysis, right? You know, the plane can do this, so don't exceed this, and that's what Maverick. That's what I thought was so cool, because he brought that. I don't care what, like when he literally threw the book off, and when he threw it in the trash. Like, I thought that was symbolic of what he was going to do, because that's how they had been trained. And that's why they couldn't do the mission at first, because they're going by the limits of the plane. And he's basically, they're talking about it, which is a little dramatic, but bending the frame of the plane and all that stuff, which that's, your body be cut in half if you did that. But
that's cool.
But it was still pretty awesome. The one question I have, Zach, since you're a little bit, I know you're into aviation, how long did it take you to kind of shut off your aviation brain from the pilot perspective, since they're in the back seat when they're pilots?
So we knew that from the trailer.
Right.
So I just went in being like, okay,
Okay.
I just accepted it right away.
Okay. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but what actually brought me back was because I thought this is what I mean by Tom Cruise, I thought being humbling. Like I thought he was humbled and he was okay with it. Was like Formula One drivers and pilots are famous for their incredibly strong necks, right? So when they're doing all these G's, their necks are like straight. And when you saw Tom Cruise like bending like this and all the other actors bending like this, I was like, you know what? I respect that Tom Cruise let them put that in the movie because they could have done different shots. They could have cut around that. But the fact that he allowed that to be in there, that's what I thought was so cool because that didn't make him look great. You know, it was like, you know, and it showed that they're not pilots, right? And I thought that was cool that they actually put that in there. I had respect for that.
I didn't even notice.
I actually saw this movie with my father-in-law, who's a single-engine small plane pilot. He flies Cessnas and things like that. But definitely an aviation buff, yeah. And he was like, it was just fun out of the corner of my eye seeing him just like shaking his head throughout this movie of like, I can't believe they're doing that.
Wow.
Not shaking his head like disappointed, but
Yeah,
like
like
shaking his head in
amazed.
awe, like, well, I can't believe they're doing that right now.
That's pretty
It was
cool.
pretty fun to just to kind of get his reactions.
Well, Zach, what you were saying about it being a great sequel, I go with Over Kyle's Right Shoulder. And to me, it's the best sequel since Empire Strikes Back for me. And I know you were talking about with a big span of time.
Sure.
But I mean,
Yeah.
even in general, to me, I thought it was that great of a sequel.
I'd have to think it through, but I would be comfortable saying the same thing until someone gave me a counterexample.
Right. Sure.
You know,
Sure.
but it's what all of these franchises absolutely do not understand with the Indiana Jones and the fourth movie with Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Like they are not giving us what we want. This movie is exactly what I could have dreamed of.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, especially the opening scene to me, like I loved how the opening scene and then the can we call it the test scene? Like I thought those two like just wrap their arms around me. And I was like, okay, I'm in. Because I got a feel for the old and now you showed me the new. Now I'm totally in now. Let's go. I thought those first two scenes were just brilliant that way.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else spoiler free? We're gonna do a little spoiler chat as
good.
well.
That was hard.
Let's talk letterboxed rankings. What did you guys think of this movie on a 5-star scale? Half stars included. I'll go first.
Well,
I gave
we're
it
not in the order of.
I gave it a 4.5.
Motion, what'd you give it?
4.75.
4.75.
All right.
I'm at a 4.
It's just because 4. Nice.
Yeah.
5.
I gave it a 5.
I had such a great time. I want to go see it again in like the biggest IMAX I can.
Same.
Yeah, I saw it in Dolby. What did everybody see it in?
I saw it in Dolby.
I saw it on the
I wa-
ultra screen, whatever. That's the big one. I'm not sure what that is.
I saw it on my cell phone. There's like a cam that leaked.
You watched
fine.
the cam video.
You didn't miss anything.
on my cell phone.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah. I had a Kindle that could play videos. I hacked it.
So you saw it in black and white.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. 300 pixels, 300 DPI was your
Yeah.
very cool.
It was awesome. I felt like I was playing Atari.
No sound, right?
No.
sound,
okay.
but subtitles. There's
Good,
subtitles.
Good. You think John Hamm might be in this movie? You're not quite sure.
I like John Hamm in this movie. He was great.
My only issue with the John Hamm, I like John Hamm in this movie. My issue with the character is like when he changes to the mission, he basically makes it like you're all gonna die, like you're going super slow, super high, and I understood that maybe he's like a more by the book kind of guy, but I don't think he'd be a by the book to sacrifice all my pilots for a mission kind of guy.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it.
Okay, all right.
In the spoiler chat, which will be at the end of the episode. So if you've seen the movie or you don't care about spoilers, stick around after the end of the episode. All right, next up, we're gonna throw the floor to Mo. Mo has a surprise list. This podcast is called the Cinereelists. Therefore, we're required to have lists every now and then. And Mo has put one together for us that we're going to go through with him. Motion, tell us all about it.
You would just go down the list?
Well, like, what is it? What
Okay.
is this
No,
list?
what's your number
So-
10? Just jump right into it.
So this list
I want to hear
is-
the number 7.
This list is a list of my favorite military jets and military ships in general.
Awesome.
And it's the top 10 that I put together.
Yeah.
There's a full mix of this in this list also.
Yes. Come on.
So I don't know if you
Hit
guys
us.
are ready for this. All right.
I'm ready.
So we'll start out with
Never
number
be
10
ready.
because that's how James taught me. So number 10 is the Battlestar Galactica Viper.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That used to come out of that chute that was the exact silhouette of the Viper, and
Uh-huh.
it came right through and And I
We're
love how they-
talking reboot
Yeah,
reboot
reboot,
Battlestar
reboot,
Oh, yeah.
reboot,
Yeah,
reboot.
yeah.
Yep.
Right.
All
Not
right.
original.
Number 9.
I need to rewatch that series. It's been too long.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's totally
it's
worth
really
it.
great.
It's one of my favorite
is.
series. Yeah.
I love it. I
I've
love
seen
it.
like 4 episodes.
Oh, Zach, you gotta really
No,
you gotta
you gotta invest.
dedicate to it, and then once it starts working on you, it's gonna hit hard.
Oh,
The 4 episodes didn't grab me.
was it the first 4?
that's not
yeah.
enough.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one where like the silence come every 33 minutes is one of my. It's like
Yeah.
episode 3, one of my favorite episodes of the whole series.
I was hooked
So
pretty quick.
clever.
Yeah, I was hooked pretty quick.
Yeah, like right away.
I don't know.
I was hooked, and then I got my wife hooked, and I rewatched the entire thing with her because it was her first time going through.
Zach, what if I watch it with you? Will that be helpful?
I'd watch it with you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I mean,
nice.
not literally
That's a nice
in the same
moment,
room. I
though.
just mean like
Wait, not
we'll,
in the same room?
we'll
Not in
keep
the
the
same
same
room.
pace.
No, I thought it was
That's
same
James's
room or
version.
nothing.
That's James's version.
I
I'll
mean-
watch it with you.
With you.
It'll
not
take
with
us a
you.
while if we do it in the same room. We never see each other.
I want to watch it
Well,
with you
that's-
separately and alone, but with you.
That's right.
I meant same pace.
Same pace. You didn't say same pace.
I have never
Concurrently?
heard that in my life.
No. Oh my goodness.
All right,
right.
we'll watch it
With
together.
you.
It'll take us 4 years, but
All right, number 9. X-Wing Fighter Black and Orange Edition.
what
Who
is
has
this?
the black and orange edition? Help me out
Yeah.
here.
That was the only good piece of the last 3 movies that we saw.
Oh, is that like
Oh,
Poe
okay.
Dameron's is his
That's
black and orange?
Poe's.
Okay.
That's Poe's, yeah.
Okay.
I had never seen one black and orange, and that blew my mind when I first saw it. A jaw dropped in the theater. I was like, what? It looks so amazing. The paint scheme was
Those
awesome.
are your colors, right? Black and
Yeah,
orange?
those are my colors.
Wouldn't it make sense
When I
to paint every fighter starship black?
In space?
Spider.
Fighter.
Oh,
In
yeah.
space?
In
though?
space, yeah.
I don't know. That's a good idea.
It'd be hard to see. That's-
Exactly. Like, I mean, I know there's radar and things like
We're
that,
gonna
but
run into each other.
yeah, you don't want anyone to run into
okay,
you.
maybe. All right, maybe not a squadron of them. Guys, we did not
Where
think
the
this
ships
out.
go? It'd be a short movie.
All
Flying
actually just
scenes.
crashed into each other.
Cheap to make though.
All right, and number 8, the Bat from Dark Knight Rises, the one that can
The
go in
Bat.
between buildings without the big,
Sure.
yeah.
Yep.
All right, and now getting into more hardcore U.S. military.
Wait, what's the list?
My favorite military jets. Military jets.
Military jets.
Are
okay.
these real, fictional, or combination?
Now the top 7 are all real.
Okay, all right.
8, 9, and 10 was because James said it needed to be 10.
James is the taskmaster of
He
this
is.
podcast.
He wasn't happy with my 7. He was like, add
That
3
sound-
more.
I believe it. I believe it.
All right, number 7 is the F-35,
What's
What
the
is
new
this?
one?
also called the Lightning.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
number
it's-
7. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one. And it's the one that has the $500,000 helmet, which is boss.
What?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
the
that's
a
helmet
fifth
is
generation
$500,000?
fighter.
It is a 5th generation.
Total 5th generation right here.
Yeah,
Is that a thing? Fifth
hell-
generation fighter? Is
Absolutely.
Didn't
thing.
you watch
Absolutely
the
a
movie?
thing.
I didn't know what was real.
Did they
what
not
was-
say it
It's
enough for you?
Definitely a thing.
They definitely said it enough.
All right, and number 6, Zach might know this one. I don't know. It's the F4, also known as the Phantom. That was the first plane I ever loved.
Dude, I know Phantom because you used to talk about the Phantom.
Oh, yeah. These are cool looking.
Aren't they? And they're amazing. I love that. how the wings are right over the engines in the back. How the fins
Yeah.
are right over the engines. I just think it's such a cool design.
Are these like Vietnam era jets?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say
Yeah.
and post. Yeah.
Okay.
Number 5, the V-22 Osprey. And I think Zach has heard this story. So I was coming back from work one day on the 408, and James and Zach know this, but I tend to drive kind of fast. And and I notice in my peripherals that something is gaining on me, which that can't be right because there's no helicopter that's going as fast as I'm going.
Not
And
possible.
so I look over, and it was an Osprey flying really low. So I'm in the left lane on the 408. I go across all the lanes to exit so I can get to the executive airport where it's landing. And then I pull around and I just like parallel park and I go out. The Osprey lands. There's this black van that comes up, and the Osprey never stops. It's just taxiing really slow. A guy in a black t-shirt comes out and gets in the van. The van takes off. The Osprey speeds back up, gets on the runway, and takes off.
Wow.
I was like, how many times does this happen and we have no idea? Like, who is that dude and where is he going? Like, I've never seen something like that outside of like the old show 24 or something like that. You know, like I didn't even know what that was. I was like, that was so cool. But the Osprey.
Yeah. So for people who are listening, what does an Osprey look like?
So what's cool about an Osprey is an Osprey it takes its wings, and its wings can rotate vertically. So it can take off like a helicopter. It's got a prop on each wing, and it takes off like a helicopter, and then the wing can straighten out and it flies like an airplane. But what's so cool is it has the ability to hover and just basically hover like a helicopter would, but then it can bank really slowly to the right or to the left. It's very responsive, and it's really cool. It's unbelievable. It's the closest thing to a Batman plane that the military has. It's
kind of like what we think of as drones these days, but full size
yeah
helicopter plane hybrid.
Like a super muscular drone.
right, that can hold probably like 12 guys or ladies.
So
yeah, they're huge.
do you think for the next Robert Pattinson Batman movie, this might just be an Osprey will be his?
Well, the Osprey was actually in the Batman comics. Batman actually has one in the comics.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
True story. Yeah, I'm telling you, when you see it, it's like it's.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking at it. It looks.
It's a
fire.
no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Well, just wait if they ever made a black and orange one.
Oh my! I would lose my mind. I wouldn't be
Sweet, that
able to
would
be here.
Yeah.
I'd be on the
Yeah.
All right, and then the next one up is this one. This could be number 1, but it's number 4 when I put the list together. But the top 4 can rotate in any given day.
Okay.
It is the F-22 Raptor. If you guys have never heard an F-22 Raptor start up, you will never deny that there is alien tech out there, because this thing, like whenever I go to an air show where they have them on the ground, because a lot of times they're not on the ground, right? But if they have it on the ground, I know they're going to have 3, because they always have 2 backups of the Raptors. And I always try to get out there before they start them up, because once they start it up, that sound there is no way anybody can ever convince me that is a normal engine. The way it sounds like, remember the movie Predator?
Mhm.
Like
Sure.
if I knocked out Predator, that's what it would sound like, is an engine starting. It's crazy. It's unbelievable.
It's
And
so
the
flat too.
Oh yeah, it's a joy. It's like a video game too.
Yeah.
With what they can do in the air, they can stall out and they can just drop, and then he can start it back up and like shoot right up. Like it's not even real.
That's
It looks like somebody's just playing with a joystick.
That's
not
cool.
even real.
Yeah.
It's an incredible plane. All right, number ready for the top 3 now.
Yeah.
Here we go with the top 3. I'll try to speed it up.
I hope I know number. I think I know number 1.
Zach just gave me the
but I'm
look.
not sure. I hope.
Oh,
I know
you think you know number 1? Okay.
I think
Can
I
you
know
write it
number
down
one.
so you
did.
can show me? Okay.
I did.
All right, number 3. And again, the top 4 can rotate around, but this is the F-18 Rhino edition of the F-18, which I absolutely love.
Edition.
Unbelievable plane.
Okay.
All right, now for the top 2.
The name helps. Name helps.
Wait. Why is Rhino edition number 3?
Because they call it Rhino because they said it's like it just barrels. Like that's just the way it flies.
See,
that's
this to me looks like more like a traditional fighter jet.
Yeah, the F-18 is the older. It's the ones that Blue Angels use today. Still,
Yeah,
it's an unbelievable plane. It's incredibly versatile too. It's an unbelievable plane. That's the one
How
that
long
they
has
use
the F-18 been around?
for a long time. That's got to be at least 40 years, I think, 30 years,
It's like
maybe.
600, 700 years.
What plane did they use in original Top Gun?
that was
The
the
original
F-14.
Top Gun
F-14.
was the F-14 Tomcat. In this Top Gun, it was the F-18 Hornets.
Mhm.
It was the Super Hornets that they used.
Okay.
All right, and number 2. Again, this is one of my favorites. I've been on one when it's on the ground, and I've been on an Osprey too when it's on the ground. And I've seen an F-35 on the ground, but this one, I'll stay in it for a while. It's the C-17 Globemaster.
Globemaster.
Yeah, it is a huge cargo plane.
Oh, yeah.
That has the capabilities of landing on short strips and taking off on short strips. Like they accidentally landed this at a small airport in Tampa. He accidentally landed it where they have like you were talking about, Kyle, with the prop jets, with the prop planes, and it managed to get out of there too. I mean, they had to send in a new pilot to be able to get it out of there. But those things, the capabilities are insane. And then if you go to Charlotte, South Carolina, that's where they have their main base. And you will see them fly right over the city, and you realize how big they are. It's incredible. They're incredible planes.
Are these like bigger than like passenger planes?
Yeah, like it's the one that carries all the president's vehicles behind Air Force One. They use a Globemaster because they can put the whole entourage can be on.
So when the president
vehicles.
goes to a different city, they fly his
They-
vehicles
they have
to the
two.
Oh
city?
yeah, like his
Oh,
limo
yeah,
and everything.
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah,
I never thought about that. I
Yeah.
guess it makes sense.
The
They're not calling
Beast-
some limo service up. Like, hey, you got any armored vehicles?
Well,
they're not
I
calling
ass-
mirrors.
I assume they just drove them. I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's usually 2 Globemasters that follow.
Right.
One's a backup. And the same they do that the 747 is one as a backup.
Crazy.
But yeah, the Globemaster's incredible. And then the number 1, we'll see if Zach got it. He's feeling pretty confident, I think.
Come on.
The F-117, this first stealth fighter plane. No, you didn't get that?
No,
The
I didn't.
Nighthawk?
The Nighthawk.
Oh man, like 5-year-old me loves this plane right now.
Yeah, the F-117 is awesome.
It's
I had a
incredible.
lunchbox
Sure.
with this plane on it.
I would probably have the B-2 bomber on my list.
The B-2 bomber almost made my list, but I've seen that live too. And the B-2 bomber so they did a great job at Lauderdale Air Show. They had us looking north. They got our attention looking north. And then they said, now look up. And you could not hear this thing. And this huge giant wing was right on top of you. Like, it just felt so patriotic. It's like whoever we send that to is just done. But the F-117 just got my heart. That one's definitely got my heart.
Except for the bad guys in Maverick. Can't use it on them.
Right, no.
Do they still fly these?
The answer that they give us is no, but they have proven that they've been in the air a few times. They've done photos and stuff. So they are still using it. They're just for some reason saying no. I don't know why that is. I know that they had some accidents with them, so I don't know if that's why.
Because this one's been
Yeah, and-
around, right? Since the 80s.
But they have ones that
Yeah.
are a lot more stealth than this now.
Yeah, the F-22 is incredibly stealth. And now
Yeah.
what they're doing is they're actually taking old F-15
Mhm.
and which were around at the time of Top Gun, and they're converting those into stealth planes because they figured out a way to convert those, so they're saving some money and converting F-15s, and they're building new ones too.
Very frugal of them.
It is very frugal and very unusual.
Right. When I think of American military, I think of saving money.
Frugality.
Yep.
Yeah.
Frugality.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially
Mo, I was
especially the Air Force.
Yeah. Mo, I was waiting for the Blackbird.
Oh, people love that one. That one, I don't know if that was just before my time, but that never got me.
Is that the long
Mm.
skinny one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the Smithsonian. It is
Yep.
incredible looking, but that one never got me. And I think it's just because it's like a Dodge Challenger, right? They look great, but good luck trying to hit corners with that. Same thing with the Blackbird. Blackbird is great straight, but you're not going to be able to bank and all that stuff with a Blackbird. And maybe that's part of it for me. All these are incredibly, versatile planes and stuff.
Yeah, the Blackbird and the Stealth Bomber look the most like spaceships.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
for
would
sure.
say.
For sure.
Yeah.
And the B2. Did you see the B2?
BT's
Yeah, I love
bad.
the B2. No love for the Warthog?
Warthog's amazing. And I'll tell you a quick story about a Warthog. They had a Warthog coming at an air show, and I was walking over to the air show, and I was on this field by myself, cutting across, and there's a Warthog flying at me. I don't know what I did in a former life, but I bowed up on this thing like I was going to box with it. Like, I don't know. It just brought that out of me. It was the most bizarre experience ever. Because these things, for those that don't know, these things like blow up tanks. These are incredible planes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a flying machine gun, giant machine gun. And I don't know, that thing just brought something out of me. It freaked me out. Those things are intimidating, though, for sure. It was a flight or fight situation, I think.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Good thing it didn't come down to that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I would feel bad for the plane.
I would have caught those bullets with my teeth.
Okay. Pootie Tang.
It's like a 7-gun
Pootie-tang.
barrel.
But that is my list of my favorite military jets. And yes, the X-Wing, the Bat, and the Viper are all military jets in my mind.
I was expecting this list to be what it ended up. So when you start with like the Viper, I'm like, oh, I'm completely not prepared for this list at all.
No, that was James telling me add 3 more.
Yeah.
I said even if they have to be fictional,
Yeah.
just fill it out.
Make it 10.
He could tell my hesitation. I was like, no, those are the 7 that I love passionately. And he was like, no. It can be whatever. And I was like, okay.
Awesome list, Mo. Thank you.
Thank you. My
That was
pleasure.
great.
Thanks for indulging me.
Before we go this week, we have to play some trivia for
Of
sure.
course.
I mean,
No doubt.
such a seminal movie we've been waiting 30 years to see, and so we have to trivialize it.
I'd
That's
rather
what we're
think
gonna
of it
do
as a Gator movie.
right now. We're gonna play some Tom Cruise trivia. This is 20 questions. I wrote all 20, so they're mostly accurate. No guarantees. And
Mostly accurate.
we're gonna go round robin, and 20 questions. Each answer is worth a point, and there will be plenty of opportunity for bonus points. So
Wow.
if you get
Ooh.
behind, don't be too worried,
There's
'cause
hope.
you could easily catch up
All right.
later on.
Oh,
in the
Maverick.
game.
exciting times we live in.
Let's start with Mo. Mo,
Oh, wow. Oh, boy.
I'm gonna
this is
keep it score.
this is the question. Which 80s dance movie did Tom Cruise audition for but fail to get?
Footloose.
It was not Footloose. Kyle for the steal.
Flashdance.
It was not Flashdance. Zach.
Dirty Dancing. Dirty
the only one
Dancing.
left.
Dancing. No.
No. What other dance movies were there?
I will give the original questionee one more chance, and then
Me.
I'm just going to give the answer. So you get one more chance, Mo.
80s dance movie. Oh, Electric Boogaloo.
No,
Oh.
absolutely not.
Oh.
The movie was Fame. Fame.
No kidding.
That's not a dance
That's
movie.
not a dance
That's
movie.
absolutely what
Broadway
Fame is
play.
about.
What?
It's a Broadway
dance
play.
movie? That is the weirdest way to describe
That is,
Fame.
no,
It's-
that's misleading.
They go to-
That
they go to
didn't
the
count.
school
That's what
for
the
the-
whole movie's about.
No, James, they go to a school for the arts. So there's acting, there's singing, there's dancing, there's all these different art forms. Dancing is just one of them.
Exactly.
Sure, but it's
It's a
considered
third of
musical.
the entire
it's
movie.
considered
James.
a dancing movie.
No,
It's
it
not
is
considered
not.
a dance. It's a musical.
What does
It's not
Wikipedia
a
say?
dancing movie.
It's not a musical. They don't sing the plot of the movie.
It is.
Yes, they do.
They
I
totally
don't
do.
believe they
They go
do.
through the hallways
James.
and they're singing.
James, you need to keep Fame out of your mouth if you're gonna not know what you're talking about.
That's fine. I'll I don't know. I'll bend the knee to the Fame expert, evidently.
That's a top 100 movie.
It doesn't matter. None of you guys got it anyway.
Okay.
Number 2,
Dance
Kyle.
movie.
You ready for this?
Yes.
Here's the question.
Make it easy.
Tom Cruise married 2 actresses
Yes or no?
who have played Batman's on-screen love interest. Name them and the films they were in.
You couldn't give me that one?
Nicole Kidman was in Batman Forever, and Katie Holmes was in Batman Begins.
Correct.
Nice.
I forgot Nicole Kidman was in Batman Forever until you asked that question.
4 bonus points. Give me
Now,
the
James, was that worth 1 point or 2 points?
That was worth 1.
Okay.
He would have had to have gotten both.
did get
for
both.
bonus
He
point.
did get both.
I know, so you got 1 point. For bonus
okay.
point.
Okay. I gotcha.
For bonus point, name the years of release of each of those movies.
Batman Begins was 2008. Oh.
Zach?
Oh no, of course not. I know that's
That's so silly for you to
I
say
know.
that. Batman Begins was the year. Are you ready for this? 2000.
no, that's terrible.
I have
Mo?
no idea.
2005.
And the
For-
other movie?
Forever. 1995.
That is correct.
Nice.
Mo gets 1 bonus point.
Zach,
I
you
get
think
one. I
Batman
got two
Begins came
things
out
right.
in 2000?
I know you had to get both of them to get the point.
I thought
Good
of it
job.
as a high school movie, not a college movie.
All right, Zach.
Definitely a college movie.
Tom Cruise has 3 ex-wives, each of which he divorced at the same age.
Oh, wow.
Closest to the pin, what age?
Was he? What age was Tom Cruise?
What age were
was he?
they?
He had
All
three
3
wives
of the
at
women
once,
were
Zach,
the
and
same
he
age.
divorced all 3 at the same time. What age was he?
All 3 of the women got divorced from Tom Cruise when they were the same age.
That's great
Okay,
research.
I think
James.
that age is 32.
Zach says 32. Mo?
I'm going to go
closest to the
31.
pin. Mo says 31.
I'm
Kyle?
gonna go 33.
The answer? 33.
Oh, nice.
Well done.
That's crazy, though. All
All right,
3
Zach.
of them. Wow.
I'm going to give you the shot at the bonus.
'Kay.
Because that's only fair.
It is.
Name Tom Cruise's first wife.
I don't know Tom Cruise's first wife, so I'll just guess Nicole Kidman.
Kyle? No. Who went first last time?
Me.
That was Zach. So Mo, you're next.
Um,
Name Tom Cruise's first wife.
Judi Dench.
Kyle.
Melanie Griffith.
The answer? Mimi Rogers.
I don't even know who that is.
I know that.
Mimi Rogers.
What?
I don't know who.
I know
Mimi
that
Rogers is.
name.
She's definitely a name.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, she's not a Nicole Kidman or a Katie Holmes, but she was an actress.
But she's not a 2-letter name.
Mo, we're back
Yes.
to you. Tom Cruise declined the role of what iconic comic book hero? They offered it to him. He turned it down.
Oh, Iron Man.
That is correct.
Nice.
No bonus available on that one.
Oh, great.
Kyle, Tom Cruise first acted in what high school play? Now I'm going to give you 4 choices here. Okay?
Mhm.
Nice.
It's going to be 4 choices. He first acted in high school. The play was either Our Town, Godspell, A Christmas Carol, or Guys and Dolls.
I know it's a musical. Guys and Dolls.
That is correct.
Nice. Good job, Kyle.
There you
Proud of
go.
you.
All right, Zach. Tom Cruise credits what television show for teaching him how to dance? I'm going to give you 4 choices here.
'Kay.
Was it The Midnight Special? Was it American Bandstand? Was it Soul Train? Or was it Dance Party USA?
I'll say Soul Train.
You say Soul Train?
Yeah.
That's correct.
James, did you watch Soul Train? Because you did the Soul Train.
Oh, yeah, I've seen Soul Train.
Wow. That's amazing. Little known trivia on
Lots of white
James.
guys watch Soul Train.
I thought we banned that, but okay.
All right, Mo.
Yes.
Which learning disability did Tom Cruise struggle with
Middle
as a
tooth.
child?
Middle tooth
Okay.
is not a learning disability, James.
That's not a learning disability.
Oh, sorry.
Was it dyslexia? Was it dyspraxia? Was it dyscalculia? Or was it dysgraphia?
Dyslexia?
Your guess is dyslexia?
Yes.
That is correct.
Did you make up those other 3?
I think he did. 'cause
No,
I didn't-
those are real
Those
things.
are real?
I searched learning
Okay.
disability, child learning disabilities, and those 3 came up and they all started with a D. So I was like, all right, I'll use these.
Well done. That was the only one I knew. That's why I guessed it.
All right, Kyle. Tom Cruise starred alongside his real life brother in the 1989 film Born on the 4th of July. Which of these is his real brother's name? Is it William Mapother, Nicholas Hawley, Mark Rudder, or Alan Gillickson?
Nicholas Hawley.
Mm.
Nope. Was not Nicholas
Maybe I'm
Hawley.
naive, but Tom Cruise is not his real name.
Zach.
Didn't realize
I just
that.
assumed Tom Cruise didn't have family. Like he just kind of blinked into existence. And
He has a brother and several sisters.
and
Zach.
parents.
Okay. Can I hear the names again?
The remaining names are William Mapother, Mark Rudder, and Alan Gillickson.
Alan Gillickson.
Mo, 50-50 shot here.
It's the
Unless
first
you know
one.
it.
It's the
Unless
first
you
one.
know it. You say the first one. You say
Yes.
William Mapother,
Yes.
not Mark Rudder.
No.
That is correct.
I knew that the first time.
Wait, so what's Tom Cruise's actual name?
I don't know.
Tom Mapother?
Couldn't tell you.
Is he even called Tom?
Could
Nothing
not
to
tell
believe
you.
in. Nothing to believe in.
All right. Zach. Before becoming a
His real name is Thomas Cruise Mapother the Fourth.
Thomas Cruise. Oh, the fourth.
So Tom Cruise is his real name. It's just
Oh, wow.
his middle name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
his middle name.
interesting.
Cruz is a middle name. That's got to be a family. Yeah. Well, it's the fourth. That makes sense.
Zach, before
Yeah.
becoming a world famous actor, what did Tom Cruise want to do with his life? Did he want to join the military? Did he want to become a race car driver? Did he want to become a lawyer? Or did he want to become a priest?
Priest.
That was my guess,
That is
too.
correct.
Good job.
He wanted to become a priest.
Well done, Zacchaeus.
He might have wanted those other things. I just didn't find any evidence of it. Mo,
Oh.
which of these 4 things are not true about Tom Cruise? Okay, I'm going to give you 4 things. 3 of them are absolutely true, and one of them I made up.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm ready.
you tell me which one is made up.
All right.
Fact number 1: Tom Cruise has never married a woman shorter than him.
Oh, I
Is
don't know
that true?
I don't know that Mimi person.
All right, here we
Okay.
go.
All right.
Fact number 2: Tom Cruise has never won an Academy Award for any reason ever. Fact number 3: Tom Cruise owns an island named Rooster Cay in the Bahamas. Or fact number 4: in Japan, every October 10th is officially Tom Cruise Day.
He does not own an island.
You don't think Tom Cruise owns an
No.
island?
Not in the Bahamas.
I mean, Johnny Depp owns an island. You don't think Tom Cruise owns an island?
I do not think Tom Cruise owns an island.
Final
Final.
answer?
Final answer.
That is correct. He does not own an island.
I know he doesn't.
Eddie Murphy owns that island.
Oh, does he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Eddie Murphy owns that island.
Oh, wow.
Courtney, do you think Tom Cruise has been to that island?
To Eddie Murphy's island?
Yeah.
I don't-
Maybe.
Maybe.
I bet he
You
has.
think they hang out? Okay.
I bet he's flown there.
I don't know. Kyle.
Mhm.
Tom Cruise has starred in 46 movies by my count.
Name them.
Many,
1 point.
many in which he is depicted physically running.
1 point.
Oh, wow.
Closest to the pin.
Oh no.
How many
Oh.
films does he not run in out of the 46?
I was 46. Are we talking like you probably don't know what kind of run? We're talking like the Tom Cruise run or just running in general?
I found a list of movies that he does not run in.
Oh,
was
that's hilarious.
That's the number I'm
46.
using.
That's
I don't know
hilarious.
what they use to evaluate the difference between a run or like a jog, but
He did the Tom Cruise run in this movie.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
think he's
he doesn't in the first one.
No. Do you think he's
No.
aware of it? Like that he
Yes.
Oh,
runs-
totally.
That's gotta be
Totally.
like
They
his
talk
thing.
about it on
Okay.
Yeah.
like talk show appearances
Totally.
and
Okay.
stuff.
Like do you think he like enhances it now? where he's like, I'm gonna give him the Tom Cruise run. And
Oh,
or
it
is
was
this
it was
is how he
exaggerated in
runs?
this one. In
Or
this one, it was
exaggerated,
way
that's what-
exaggerated.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Anyway,
I'm looking for a number.
He's had 46 movies.
46 is the top, so closest to the pin. How many movies does he not run in?
I'm going to say he does not run in 22 of those.
Kyle says 22. Next up, we have Zach.
14.
Zach says 14. Mo?
23.
Mo says 23. The answer is 9.
Nice,
Zach gets the
Zach.
point.
Only 9 he does not run in.
Only 9 out of the 46.
That is insane.
All right, Kyle. Here's your chance for bonus points.
Wow. It's a great question.
Name them.
James had such a straight face when he said that.
Name the 9 movies Tom Cruise is not running.
Name them.
If you get one
Name
wrong,
them.
I'm moving on to somebody else.
Name them.
Legend.
Zach,
Top Gun.
Oh, jeez,
Yes.
that's an obvious one.
keep going.
Risky Business.
He's got to run into that slide.
Mo,
Did we say A Few Good Men?
didn't make this list.
He ran in A Few Good Men?
Evidently.
He's got to run to the courtroom. He's late for court.
We'll do
Yeah,
one more round.
They call
Kyle?
it Red.
He does not Magnolia.
Keep going.
Okay.
Nice.
Oof, I'm trying to think. Oh,
Oh, I know one. I know one.
Tropic
one too.
Thunder.
I think we know the same one, Zach.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the one I knew.
Okay. All right.
You're on a roll now.
I know. I'm trying to stick to that era when Tom Cruise is trying to act and not be action.
Trying to act.
Ooh. Born
I
on the
need a
4th of
movie.
July.
You say Born on the 4th of July.
Yep.
Had no legs, still ran.
I knew he was in a wheelchair for part of that movie, so I thought I could go for it.
Zach.
Punch Drunk Love.
Punch Drunk
Punch
Love.
Drunk
He
Love?
wasn't in that.
He's not even in that movie.
You're thinking Adam Sandler?
No, I was thinking about Magnolia.
Oh, okay.
Mo.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, yeah, that's that same era. Yep.
Keep
Oh,
going.
oh, goodness. That was all I had.
Guess Magnolia.
Kyle already got one
Minority
for me.
Report.
He's
No,
definitely
you-
running on the report.
All right.
I couldn't
We
think
went
of any.
2 rounds. The ones you guys didn't get, The Color of Money.
Oh, wow.
The pool.
You
movie.
didn't get Interview with the Vampire.
Never seen
Oh, I should have gotten
You
that
did-
one.
Wine counts.
You didn't get Austin Powers in Goldmember.
it. I forgot he was in that one.
Remember, he makes a very brief cameo in Austin
Okay,
Powers in Goldmember.
Nice.
You didn't get Lions for Lambs,
What?
Never heard of it.
I never heard
and
of
you
that.
didn't get Valkyrie.
Forgot about that movie.
I still don't remember that movie.
That's the
All right.
the Nazi one about the plot to blow up Hitler.
Oh, I
Ready,
never saw
Zach?
that. Okay, thanks.
Ready.
This one's for you. Tom Cruise became the first actor ever to appear in 5 consecutive movies that each grossed over $100 million in the United States, beginning with what 92 film and ending with what 1996 film.
Ooh.
So I need a movie from 1992 that started this streak and a movie from 1996 that it ended, well, that got him the record.
Let me start from the back.
Okay.
War of the Worlds.
You think the streak began in 1992 with War of the Worlds.
No, I'm starting at the back. So it ended with War of the Worlds.
You think it ended with 1996's War of the Worlds.
I do. I think that.
Zach, do you confuse middle school, high school, and college?
Motion.
Yes.
I need a 1992 Tom Cruise movie that began this streak of earning over $100 million per movie at the box office. And I need a 1996 movie that
Mission
got him the
Impossible.
record. For 1992 or 1996?
92. Ah.
Kyle?
96 is Mission Impossible. 92 is Far and Away.
Oh.
You guys suck at this. I'm just going to give it to you because you're never going to get them.
No.
This might have been too hard a question. The movie that began that streak was 1992's A Few Good Men.
Oh.
The movie that got him the record of 5 movies in a row in 1996 was Jerry Maguire.
Oh,
Was that also
wow.
96?
Yep.
That's crazy.
So
That was
Mission Impossible must
1996.
have been the one before it.
Yeah.
Okay.
War of the Worlds is like 2005.
2005, yeah.
You were off like a decade, Zach, with War of the Worlds. Okay, for bonus, Zach,
Yes.
name
Bonus.
the 3 movies in the middle.
Yes.
Name the 3 movies in the
between
middle.
which 3?
Between A Few Good Men in
Oh
1992
my God.
and
Yes.
Jerry Maguire in 1996. There were 3
Yes.
other movies that
These
also
3.
made over $100 million. These are really big
Yeah.
Tom Cruise movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Firm.
What?
That is correct.
Is it really?
Yeah, absolutely. The
What
Firm.
else
didn't think they
came
made that
out
Keep
much
going.
in between?
Keep going, Zach.
A Few Good
You
Men.
want to hear the rest? Far and Away.
What? Oh.
Oh.
Kyle.
Interview with the Vampire.
He's got the filmography pulled
No,
up.
I don't.
It's
I'm not
easy.
cheating. Mission
What else?
Impossible.
That's
I can
it.
see it in his glasses. Look.
We can see your reflection in my glasses.
Zach.
Yeah.
For more bonus.
Yes.
He later shared the same record at 7 movies. He actually didn't lose the record until he hit 7. He went from 5 to 6 to 7, reaching 100 million in a row. But he shares this 7 movie $100 million record with what actor?
So this is 7 movies in a row, or just 7
Seven
movies in those
in
years?
a row that each earned over $100 million.
Tom Cruise.
What?
Tom
No,
Cruise.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Nice job. I was going to
course.
guess Will Smith.
Zach, one more.
Yeah.
Bonus. For more
Yes.
bonus.
Yes.
Both
Yes.
Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks were surpassed
Yep.
by what actor who reached 8 movies in a row at 100 million?
You really want to know?
I really want to know.
Samuel.
Kyle.
The Rock.
Mo.
Will Smith.
Oh, nice. I heard you say Will Smith. I felt bad taking
I know.
it.
That's what
I didn't want to say it.
Zach was just messing around. I thought you heard me.
I didn't want to say it. I would have felt bad. So
Mo, this one's for you.
Oh.
Which one of these is a real character name that Tom Cruise starred as? I'm going to give you 4 character names.
Okay.
You tell me which one is actually real. All the other ones I made up. All right.
Yep.
Did he star as Lieutenant Daniel Ames in 1992's A Few Good Men? Did he star as Charlie Babbitt in 1988's Rain Man? Did he star as Vincent Harford in 1999's Eyes Wide Shut? Or did he star as Ray Algren from 2005's War of the Worlds? One of those is a real character name. Which is it?
I feel like Rain Man Charlie was the closest one that sounded right to me. I'm going to go with that one.
Are you talking about Ray Algren?
Yes.
No, you're
no.
not.
Wait,
he
no,
said
in
Rain Man. Whatever the Rain,
Rain
Man.
Man.
You're talking about Charlie Babbitt.
Charlie. I
You're
don't
talking
remember
about
the last
Charlie
name.
Babbitt from 1988's Rain Man.
Correct.
That's your answer.
That is my answer.
That's correct. How did you know that? That was a complete guess, right?
No, because of the first name. I remember the Charlie. I didn't remember the
Oh.
last name, but I remember the Charlie because I remember him saying Charlie and the way they said it was funny. The way Dustin Hoffman said it was funny.
Nice. All right,
Funny how?
Funny strange.
Kyle. Kyle. Beside the Mission Impossible and Top Gun franchises, Tom Cruise has starred in which 2 other sequels?
Which 2 other sequels?
Mm-hmm. Not counting the Mission Impossible movies or the new Top Gun: Maverick. What other sequels has he starred in?
Do
There's only 2.
Do short cameos count or starred?
That for the purposes of the answer I have on my paper, they don't count.
Okay.
But had I done this better, they should have.
Okay, so cameos don't count. Star. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
You can cut me off at any point because I am just
I'll give you like 10 seconds.
okay. Tom Cruise. Oh, okay. Color of Money.
That is
All
correct.
right.
That's the one I knew.
And
There's another one. This one. Okay, no hints.
No,
Don't do
I'll
any
take
hints.
hints. You
No,
keep,
no hint.
Keep riffing.
Nope.
It's like jazz.
Okay.
All right, I'm out.
All right, Mo,
Oh shoot!
you're up next. There's one more to get.
Was there a
Actually, Kyle gets nothing because he didn't get both of them. So you need to name me both of them to get this point, Mo. You
Okay.
can repeat the one that Kyle already got.
Yeah, but I need both to get a point.
Right.
Was there a sequel to Interview with a Vampire?
Is that
That-
your answer?
That's my answer because I don't know.
It's online blog vampire.
All
All right, it's The Color of Money,
Mm-hmm.
and I wish I knew the name of this. It's the second Jack Reacher movie.
I'll give it to you.
Shadow Recruit.
There was a second Jack Reacher movie.
There was.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was not Shadow Recruit. It was
Oh.
called Never Go Back,
I didn't even know that.
Okay,
Wow.
apparently I did not even know there was a second one.
which is not a great subtitle for a sequel, I would say.
Was it good? I didn't see it, but I really liked the Jack Reacher.
I
movie.
love
never
Jack
s-
Reacher.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Did
I
you
love
guys?
I love the series.
Did you see
no.
the Jack Reacher Amazon show?
Yeah, that's what
That
I'm
was
referring to.
cool. I like
I love
that
it.
a lot.
I think
I
it's
haven't
great.
seen that.
Yeah,
Kyle,
Haven't seen it.
for bonus, The Color of Money is a sequel to what?
The Hustler. Come on.
That is correct.
Nice. I didn't know that.
All right, Zach. Hardcore Tom Cruise fans call
Yes.
themselves what? Do they call themselves Tom girls? Do they call themselves cruisers? Do they call themselves Mavericks? Or do they call themselves outsiders?
Outsiders.
Incorrect. Kyle,
I gotta go with the obvious cruisers.
you're saying cruisers?
Yep, I'm
Oh.
going for it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. I made up all the other ones. Motion.
Creative.
Tom Girls.
Which one of these 4 movies was not released on Tom Cruise's birthday?
Oh, okay.
Can you at least tell?
I'm going to give you 4 movies. 3 of these movies were released on his birthday.
Okay.
Not the same year, but
Sure.
same date, same month.
Same time he
Same
divorced his
year.
wife.
One of them was not released on his birthday. The one that was not released on his birthday, was it The Terminator, released on his 20th birthday? Was it Christina, released on his 22nd birthday? Was it Phenomenon, released on his 34th birthday? Was it Independence Day, released on his 34th birthday?
Phenomenon is too random. That has to be. Because there's no way you're mentioning the movie Phenomenon otherwise.
You think the answer is Phenomenon?
Absolutely.
No, it's not Phenomenon. Zach? That was probably Zach's guess.
Christina.
You think Christina?
Yeah.
Kyle, you got 2 options here. Was it Independence Day or was it The Terminator?
Well, unless you're messing with the release days, I'm going to assume that Phenomenon and Independence Day came out on the same day because they're the same year. So I'm going to Terminator.
Good logic.
Nice. Very good logic.
He logicked it.
All right, Kyle.
Sure enough.
Which
yeah.
branch of the U.S. military has Tom Cruise played a member of in 2 films, not including Top Gun: Maverick?
Wait, not including Top Gun: Maverick.
Right.
Okay. So I need a
a branch of the military.
branch of the military that he's played.
that Tom Cruise has played a member of in 2 films, not including Top Gun: Maverick.
Let's go Army.
You say Army.
Yep.
Not the Army. Zach?
Navy.
It was the Navy.
Okay. What other Navy one was it besides Top Gun then?
Few Good Men.
Oh, was that?
Few
Okay,
Good
I
Men.
did. Haven't seen the movie.
You've never seen Few
Kyle.
Good Men?
Never seen a Few Good
For-
Men.
What?
You
I
need to
can't
see
handle
Few
the
Good
truth,
Men.
guys.
It's great.
Clearly.
All right.
It's good.
Kyle.
I guess they're
Seen
wearing
it.
the white uniforms, aren't they? I should have
Yeah.
known that.
Yeah.
The Navy uniforms. Come on.
Navy.
For bonus points.
Okay.
Which branch of the military out of the top 5 has top 4 rather
Space Force.
has
Force.
without including Space Force, which branch of the military has Tom Cruise never played a member of?
Can you give me the top 4, please?
Sure. Well,
What?
you know Navy.
Yep.
There's also the Army,
Okay.
the Marines, the Air Force.
Okay, that's it. I don't.
Yep, those are the
Wow.
4 branches of the military before Space
Coast
Force.
Guard
What about
disrespect.
Coast Guard? Yeah.
Is that a branch of the military?
That is
Yes.
not.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
Plus the
either.
Space Force.
Not
Space
including
Force.
Space Force. We know he
Um,
hasn't played a Space Force.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Air Force.
That is
okay.
correct.
Good job.
All right, Zach. We're almost there.
Coast Guard.
Only-
One of the 6 military services.
Is it
Including
really?
Space Force.
I didn't know that was officially named.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I'm over it. Zach. Only 2 actors have ever worked with both Stanley Kubrick and Martin Scorsese. Tom Cruise and what other actor?
Only 2 actors have
Only
worked
2
with
actors have ever worked with both Stanley Kubrick and Martin Scorsese. I'm not going to give you forever to think about this.
You're just gonna give me a little bit of
I'm
time.
going to give you a little
not,
bit of time.
Not
No,
forever.
Right.
Zach's stretching. Don't let him talk.
No, I'm talking it out. I'm not stretching. I'm talking it out. You know what? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I'm going to say Jack Nicholson because I have no idea.
Oh, that's a great guess.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's a great guess.
Yeah.
That is a great guess, Zach. It's an educated guess, right?
How many more questions are there?
2 more.
Can I just say
It's not a 2 more.
Is
we're in a
that
3-way
cool?
tie right now?
We're in a 3-way tie right
Nice.
now.
It's a 3-way tie
Nice.
right now.
Awesome.
To keep the suspense, I won't say what the number is.
Doesn't matter. It
All
could
right,
be
Mo.
300 or
All right.
4. Does it?
This one's 50-50 chance. True
Okay.
or false? Tom Cruise has never, ever acted for television or a streaming first movie.
That is true. He loves cinema.
That is true. That is true.
Everyone knows that.
All right, Kyle. Last question before the tiebreaker. Adjusted for inflation, what film is Tom Cruise's biggest domestic box office hit?
Ooh.
Adjusted for inflation.
Adjusted for inflation, What film is Tom Cruise's biggest domestic, meaning United States, box office hit?
I'm gonna say Top Gun.
You say Top
I'm
Gun.
gonna say Top Gun.
Out of all his movies.
Yeah, well, because we're adjusting for inflation here.
All right. That's correct.
Nice.
Yeah.
For bonus, Kyle, closest to the pin in millions, and again, adjusted for inflation, how much money did the original Top Gun make at the box office, adjusted for inflation?
325 million.
Kyle says 325. Mo?
375 million.
375. Zach?
What did Kyle say?
325.
325.
376 million.
Zach went just
Wow.
1 million
Sorry, Mo.
above Mo. The answer, 444 million.
Nice,
Oh,
Zach.
wow.
Nice.
Nice job, Zach.
Zach took it.
Wow, that's a lot.
All right, guys. We have a three-way tie.
All right. And then the
Nice.
tiebreaker is going to be it. The tiebreaker is going to be it. I don't think we've ever really had to use a tiebreaker. I always include them. Never had to use them. This will be a first. All right. This is the tiebreaker. Zach gets to go first, which is kind of a disadvantage because this is another closest to the pin situation.
That's right.
In millions,
right.
not adjusted for inflation, how much money did the original Top Gun actually make at the box office?
Wait, before Zach makes his answer, to be fair, do you want all of us just like write down an answer and we just say it?
Oh, I mean, if you want to be fair, we can do
Yeah,
that.
I mean, since it's a
I'm sure
tiebreaker.
Zach would love that.
Yeah.
It's harder to box him out.
Good luck. Okay. How much did it actually make?
Not adjusted for inflation. Adjusted for inflation, we already know 444 million. So when you de-adjust that for inflation, what do you land at?
6% a year.
In millions.
Okay. I actually don't have a pen, so I can't write down, but I promise I will not.
No calculators.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I got my answer.
Does everybody
I
have
wrote
an
it down.
answer?
Okay, I have my answer.
Kyle didn't write it down, so you can go
I'll
first.
go first, yeah. 215 million.
Kyle says 215 million. Mo,
150 million.
150 million. Zach,
135
I feel like
million.
came in too high.
135. Okay. We definitely have a winner. And the actual deflated amount for original Top Gun at the domestic box office was 180 million.
Wow, that
which
much.
makes the winner at 215 million.
Yes.
That's 35 million off. Wait, I might be wrong. That's 35 million off. Mo said
Wait,
100.
Kyle guessed
I
what?
guess 215,
15.
yeah.
Okay.
Mo guessed 150. That's
So
30
he's
off.
35.
So Mo wins
Mo wins.
by $5
Nice.
million in the end.
Yes. She has not lost that love and feeling.
Mo wins.
Yes.
Probably the closest game of trivia we've ever played.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done, Mo.
Congratulations
Yeah.
to all. We're all winners.
I mean, you guys are. I don't know if that's because my questions were like so silly that nobody could ever really be good at it, or if.
James, I love your question.
No,
Yeah,
I
they
think
were
they were
good.
great questions.
They were good.
All right, good.
I like.
Glad you guys enjoyed it.
They had a wide assortment of questions. It was good.
They're fun to do. They're just hard enough that nobody could truly be an expert at them.
That is for sure.
How many of those questions would Tom Cruise have gotten correct?
3.
I think he would have gotten almost all.
I
of
think
them.
Tom Cruise knows himself and like everything about himself very well. I think
he's
Tom Cruise lives
conflicted.
in his own head a lot.
Probably.
Do you think he would know
Probably true.
his box office numbers?
Yo, for sure, guaranteed.
I would be
Adjusted for
shocked.
inflation?
Yeah, because I think you would, because those like they're constantly talking about their box office numbers, with their agent and like when they're negotiating new.
Yeah, that's
things and
true.
stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's very much front of mind.
And I
It's
also
like,
get the vibe.
do you know your income? You know what I mean?
Not really. Money shows up, I spend it.
I also get the vibe that type of stuff validates his existence on the
Mhm.
planet to himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of people like me. Look at all this money.
That's
type
a
of thing.
shame, but that's probably very true.
What do you guys think about the idea of him being the biggest movie star we have right now? Is that true or not?
I think that probably is true.
I agree.
I think that's definitely true.
I think maybe what's his name? Iron Man.
Robert Downey.
Jr.
If he was still making movies.
Like he's number 2 for sure. Like the existence of Robert Downey Jr. in a I don't know, because maybe only Robert Downey Jr. in Marvel movies matters, whereas
I
Tom
think so.
Cruise in any movie kind of still matters.
I think
number 2 is The Rock.
Ooh,
Ooh,
I
I was
say
thinking
Tom
Will
Hanks.
Smith for
I think
number
Tom
2.
Hanks for me. Tom Hanks is a
That's
rock
interesting.
star
We
movie
all
star.
have a different number 2. We can't. The Rock
don't-
is good.
I think the number 2 is still Will Smith technically. I think Will Smith being in a movie still matters, and every movie Will Smith is in, for the most part, revolves around him. With the exception of maybe original Suicide Squad.
I want to see the Heirs cut.
Yeah.
I think that was
more Will Smith.
I think there was a whole
that
lot more
version?
Will Smith. Yeah.
I don't think we're ever going to get that,
Yeah, it's not happening.
which I'm fine with.
I'm
I
still
don't need
hopeful.
that.
I'm still hopeful.
You know what I want? I want another that Netflix movie that he did. The one where he's a cop and like there's
Oh,
orcs and stuff.
that was in the
Bright?
works. Yeah, Bright.
Bright.
That was in the works.
You want
But they-
brighter
until the slap.
or dim? I don't know which word.
Yeah, I know Netflix canceled like a couple projects. Was that one of them?
That was one of them. Yeah.
Really?
After the slap. Yeah.
I don't get canceling projects after the slap.
Well, it's just revenue, right? They figure it's going to be a big impact as opposed to waiting it out another year or so, and then they'll start it.
Yeah.
Same thing with Bad Boys. Bad Boys got stopped, not canceled, but stopped.
They were going to do another Bad Boys?
Mhm.
Oh, they would do 2 more.
Oh, okay. I mean, of all the franchises, shouldn't Bad Boys keep going? I mean,
Because he is one now.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the slap was not good, right?
No.
Obviously, not good. But it's not like a pattern with Will Smith. You know what I mean? It feels like a moment in time where he made a wrong decision and he should be punished for that and all those types of things. But it's not like he's a guy who consistently has bad behavior, but somehow keeps it out of the, spotlight. And then all of a sudden, he couldn't keep it behind doors this time. That's not his reputation at all.
Sure.
But I think because I can't even talk about the slap, because it went so much against his reputation, and that it's like maybe it showed maybe more of this is who he actually is versus the reputation he's been building this whole time.
I think
and
it
I-
Right,
brings
but
so
all
do,
that
do you
into
think that's who he actually is?
I-
I'm not sure I believe that.
He
Because
said in his autobiography that when he was younger, he would sucker punch people the exact same way,
right.
and that like he mostly put that behind him.
But I think he is the guy that we've seen
I think
and
so,
the
too.
reputation that he's built over the last 30 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
That
can't
doesn't-
hide that 30 years.
For sure.
Like,
For sure.
do you think it's possible for somebody to never slap anybody and then 50 years later, some weird chemistry circumstance that we don't know about triggers something and then they slap somebody?
But I
They're
think
not really that person, but they did do that thing.
But what Zach is saying is that he has slapped people in the past.
Right, but not
Like-
for a long time. I mean,
Really?
how long before you're not a guy who slaps people? You know what I mean?
Once you slap,
Yeah,
you're
I
a
mean,
guy who
one
slaps. I mean,
slapper
you're
always a slapper. That's
Yeah, Will Smith is a slapper.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. He's a
that's
slapper.
fine. I've come to accept this about him.
I don't.
I feel like we should.
You're talking about Will Smith, the slapper?
think
I
so,
know. I've
too.
heard of him.
He had a bad day.
Yeah.
He had a good day.
He had a bad day. He did have a good day. He made it a bad day.
Yeah. The only mistake
Uh,
I feel the mistake I feel he made was like seeing dancing and stuff like that to his own song after the slap. Like I think that was a bad move
Absolutely.
on top of a bad move.
Right.
And I think
Yeah.
that's what made it worse. I think if he just kind of disappeared after that for a little while, I think that would have helped him.
And he should have He should have not gone to the after parties. He should have apologized in his acceptance speech. If he forgot in the acceptance speech or didn't want to do it, it should have been the next day,
Mhm.
not like a week later, like it was.
Totally agree.
All those things probably would have helped. He didn't do that. Anyway, show's over, guys. I don't know how we ended up with that as the ending, but
We'll
we
end
did.
on the slap.
We will now know the show is over when the slap comes up.
Thank you for listening to episode 532 of the Cinereelists. We appreciate your listening. Don't forget, you can watch a video version of this podcast on YouTube. You can support us on Patreon. You can rate us on Apple Podcasts or send us a listener email. We'd appreciate any of those things. You could also find us on social media at Cinereelists on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. You could follow me on my personal Twitter or Letterbox at YoJRB.
You can follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd at Shaubin.
You can find me on Letterboxd at Peter SKB.
Mo, thank you for coming on the podcast again. Where can the listeners find you online?
You can join my 5 followers on Twitter with Mo_AB, Moab.
Nice. Oh,
And on
it's the
Instagram.
same on Instagram, right?
Instagram, it's IBDbat. IBDbat.
That's what it is. That's where you'll get the sweet air show content.
Yes.
Is over
Yeah,
on the Instagram.
Definitely not on Twitter, for sure.
Awesome. Next week we will be doing blind spots. So nothing to pre-watch. Should we announce the movies? Would that be helpful for people? Do you guys remember the movies? I know one of them is the original Robin
I remember
Hood.
the movies. Well, it's not the original, but it's the 1939 Robin.
1939
Zach.
Robin Hood.
Come on.
1938 Robin Hood.
Oh, 38. Yeah.
James, don't watch the 39 Robin Hood. That's really going to throw you off here.
What are the other two we're watching?
I'm watching Paris is Burning.
Right, the documentary.
And I'm watching The Northman.
Oh, and Zach's watching The Northman.
Oh, fun.
Nice. Mo, have you seen
So
The
these
Northman
are
yet?
all.
I have not. Should I?
I think you
yes.
might like The Northman.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
So
That's all I need.
what these 3 movies are the movies that the other 2 Cinereelists hosts have seen and gave 5 stars to,
Oh, wow.
but the third host hasn't seen.
Okay.
So
That's pretty
all
cool.
these movies are 5-star movies for everyone else who's seen it on the show, but the person who hasn't seen it.
Yep.
Pretty cool. I'll have to tune in.
Kyle got a seminal
Documentary.
Zach got an awesome recent movie, and I get to watch an old ass.
Oh, James,
Robin Hood
you are
movie.
in for a treat. Do not go with this mentality that this is some old movie.
1930?
You are
1939 Robin Hood.
1938. Don't watch 39. Wrong year. 38. Earl Flynn. Very important.
Wow.
James, you are.
I will go in with an open mind, as I do for every old ass
Oh,
movie I have to
goodness.
watch for some weird reason.
Here, I'm going to tell you how great this movie is. I watched this movie at Zach's house when I was visiting one time when he went to church, and he put on Robin Hood for me to babysit me at his home by himself, basically.
And it worked.
He was like, hey, I gotta go. Here, watch Robin Hood. I'm like, okay, fine. It was great.
That's hilarious.
Now, part of that was the glow from not having to go to church for you.
Yeah, yes. I've been doing a great job of avoiding church for 38 years now, so keep it up.
Awesome. So yeah, come back here, same time, same channel, Blind Spots next week. We'll see you guys there. Until then, keep it cinereal.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Kyle and Zach drank at the same exact time and put the cups down at the same exact time. That was bizarre.
Yeah.
We're
No, we have
we're like the super twins.
we have a texting chain going
Yeah,
I'm
on.
sorry they canceled your movie.
All right, Zach, pick up the next item. You know which one. 3, 2, 1, go. Light bulb.
This is spoiler chat for Top Gun: Maverick. If you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to spoil it for you, the details of said movie, then you should hit pause and come back to this after you've seen it. If you have seen the movie or you don't care about spoilers, listen on. What do we need to say about Top Gun Maverick? that we haven't said. One, I think I was surprised that Kelly McGillis made no appearance in this movie.
Are you really?
And there's no mention of her.
Yeah,
there was
of
no
Charlie.
like, hey, what happened to that hot
They
instructor you
couldn't.
knew back then?
There's no
What do
way
you mean
they
they couldn't?
They couldn't do that tastefully.
She's alive.
I get that.
She's still acting. I know she's not
She's
Jennifer
acting.
Connelly.
No,
But-
it wouldn't have. Yeah, I thought that was kind. I mean, I don't mean to be mean, but I thought that was actually responsible.
They could have put her as an instructor in the film at some point or something like that. She could have been in there somehow. She could have been Val Kilmer's assistant for all we know.
Oh,
you know what I
that's
mean?
Messed up.
I'm just saying. Literally no
So
mention.
wrong.
Is that better? Just throw her in there as Val Kilmer's
Assistant,
assistant?
yeah. She's
Exactly.
like,
How is
And
that?
hand
After
her $1
being the
million.
civilian contract.
I'm sure she wouldn't care.
You
know what I mean?
I got the impression that she
bonus
wanted to
her.
be in the movie, but
Oh, she made that very clear.
yeah, either there wasn't. I don't know if it's because she looks different than how she looked 30 years ago, or if it's because they didn't know how to fit her in there, or if it's all the above. But yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't include her in it.
I don't know. I was just surprised because they managed to include pretty much everything else that from the first movie. And then the other thing they kind of shoehorned in, and I was okay with it, is the Jennifer Connelly character.
Yeah, that worked
Like,
for me.
That happened in the mid period that we didn't get to see, and I think they fit it in there, and they brought us up to speed pretty fast with all the relevant details.
So
She's
Um,
referenced in the first movie.
she
is?
Yes, the
Yeah.
Principal Strickland is talking about I don't know the guy's name, the actor name. He's the principal from Back to the Future, who's in Top Gun 86.
Yep.
You know, he's kind of going through like Maverick's rap sheet, and at one point he references an admiral's daughter. She's the admiral's daughter.
Yeah, and then Goose makes a comment, and then he's like, "Yeah," or something like that.
Yeah, and Meg Ryan makes a comment.
Yeah.
I did not catch that.
Yep.
But good to know it's linked.
So, but I mean, obviously, that character never makes an appearance in '86, nor is Jennifer Connelly. It's just fleshing out a joke from that time around. I was hoping for a Meg Ryan appearance though.
That one
Yeah.
I was
And,
hoping for too.
Like that maybe, they just kind of said, oh yeah, like after your mom died. I was like, oh, that's too bad that there's going to be no Meg Ryan in this, even for a scene. Like Val Kilmer, he got a scene. It was, I don't know, it was really awesome and kind of maybe a little teary eyed to see Val Kilmer. I haven't seen him in a movie in a long time, especially since he had surgery.
Mhm.
And like
Well, and he's passed away, hasn't he?
Val Kilmer's still alive.
Still alive.
He's still alive?
Yeah.
What?
Val
I
Kilmer's
thought he
still
died.
alive.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
he's still
He's
alive?
still alive.
Wait,
Yeah, yeah.
you watched this thinking that was Val
Jeez.
Kilmer's last movie appearance?
How did you
Yeah,
make?
oh,
how
yeah,
did you make it through
absolutely I
that
did.
scene? Goodness.
I didn't.
Oh my God.
I
If-
screamed for them to stop the screening, and we all sat there for 15 minutes until I regained my composure, and then I said they could continue.
No,
He's
Val
alive,
Kilmer's
guys.
very
He's
much
totally
alive. You
alive.
thought
He's alive.
Yes.
He just had that documentary.
I thought it was he
Not a
died.
post-harmonious documentary.
I didn't. I've only seen the first half of the documentary.
Okay.
I assumed
you
he
assumed
died.
dies at the end of his own
So
documentary.
you didn't want to watch the second half?
I
know
couldn't
he's-
handle it.
Spoiler alert! I know he dies.
I couldn't handle it.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm so sad that this is in the spoiler section and not in the main show.
He's alive.
Yes, he's
From
very
my
alive.
understanding, not only is he alive, but
He's doing better.
He's like cancer free. It's
Yeah.
just there's a lot of damage to his larynx.
Yeah, his
and
vocal cords.
other
yeah.
things. Yeah. And so he's always going to be that version of Val Kilmer from now on, but
Sure.
he's relatively out of the woods.
I thought
I was
health-wise.
worried at first that he wasn't in this movie, that he would just be like texting with Iceman the entire time. I'm like, how lame is that? So,
No.
so then the fact that they actually brought him in for a scene, like, okay, thank God he's not just like some texting ghost.
Yeah, no.
He's
I,
like,
I,
I'm
I
texting
had a
Charlie
feeling that
while
was
I'm
coming.
at it, you guys. So
I had a feeling that was coming. I didn't know exactly how they would handle it, like how they would make him look, how they're going to do, the voice, if at all,
Mhm.
like how they were going to present it. And I thought it was a brilliant and respectful way to handle it,
Yeah.
where they just basically were real about it. And I just thought, and then I love the joke, at the end where, who was really the better pilot. And he said, this is let's not ruin a really great moment. We're having a great moment here, or something like that, and I just thought it was so true to their characters. And I just thought it was great. It was such a heart to it. I just loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I also loved that they gave Tom Cruise an age-appropriate love interest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thank goodness.
They did not front that like Tom Cruise is no longer in his 20s type of thing, and like set him up with somebody that would be like, okay, I have to take a few logic leaps here in order to believe what's going on screen type of thing. And not only that, but that he, from the beginning of this movie, is like a changed person as far as like how he treats women or how he thinks about women type of thing. And they did that very subtly.
Yeah,
they
they
didn't
do.
just pound you over the head that like, oh, you know, he's had a lifetime of revelation. It's just, no, he's a different guy. He's 30 years later and he's grown up.
Right.
And the scene with the daughter,
That was
when he
awesome.
like falls on the ground,
Oh, yeah.
my theater got a big laugh when he falls on the ground after jumping out of the
That was funny.
out of the window, and then he sees the daughter, another laugh because he's caught, and then to have her say, "Don't break her heart again."
Yep.
There was like, it wasn't that the air got sucked out of the room, but it was like all of a sudden people were like, "Oh, he can't be the Tom Cruise that he was 30
Right.
years ago." You know what I
Right.
mean? He's not going to be type of thing. And there were a couple of moments. That was probably the strongest one where I was like, they're subtly telling us here that he's still the guy who likes going fast in planes, but he's also a guy who thinks about people more than he did when he was when he was the guy in the old movie.
Mhm.
Sure.
And I like that they gave a character progression like that through like context clues and stuff like that without just saying, like, never once did he say, "I'm a different person than I was 30 years ago."
Right.
He didn't have to. Just his actions showed that type of thing. I like that part.
Well, even that he came back to instruct the crew was the changed version of him is what did it. Because the real version of Maverick was like, forget this, you know, they don't want me to do it or whatever. And then when the Jennifer Connelly character, you know, it like is kind of like speaks from his heart and is like, but they need you. You know, it's not about you anymore. You know, it's about them. And I just thought that was cool. Like you said, you know, it's a lot of pieces where they're showing us, you know, kind of the maturation process of Maverick, which I thought was really cool.
One thing I really liked was how they dealt with the relationship between the Miles Teller character and the Maverick character. So this is Goose's son, right? And Goose died, you know, while Maverick was flying with them. But Miles wasn't mad at him for his dad dying. He didn't blame him for his dad dying, which I really appreciated, right? Because it wasn't Maverick's fault. And he was mad at him because he like pulled his application to the Naval Academy. And that's like a legit thing to be mad about. And I can understand why both of them are feeling the way that they feel, right? But you want them to reconcile. And I believed the path of reconciliation that they went through, right? So by the end, when they're like fine with each other, like happy with each other, recreating the Iceman Maverick photo, you know, I believed the path that got us there. You know, he saved his life and then he saved his life. And it was like,
yeah.
That did it.
And then the fact that Maverick was falling on the sword for Meg Ryan's character.
Yes.
Because she's the one that actually wanted him to do that.
And he never
broke.
owned up to that.
No.
Yeah, never broke.
He said
you can't it ruins it if you break.
Right. He said he didn't want him to be mad at her, rather him be mad at Maverick.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever think there was a chance that Maverick was not going to survive this movie?
I thought for sure he was not.
Yeah, I thought
he was
towards
dead.
the end there. Yep.
I didn't think he
And I
was
was cool with that.
dead, but I thought maybe they'd end the movie without saying.
I actually
And
thought
there was
this. Oh, sorry.
There was a lot of gasping in my theater when that happened too. When he goes down.
There was a few of those in mine, and I thought the test pilot scene, I thought that was like they were going to go back
like
now.
a flash. I thought
Yeah.
the same thing. Like maybe
So I
that
thought
test pilot was the end of the movie.
Yeah, I thought
Yep.
he died in there, and then we're going to go back, you know, 10 months ago, you know, or whatever. That's what I thought. So they had me kind of at the edge of my seat a little bit with all that in the storytelling aspect too.
You thought they were going to go back and do what?
I
They
thought
thought they
that
thought-
scene was like the end, that he was going to die, and then they were going to go back and tell you like how he became kind of this, you know, experimental pilot.
Like
Like
his test pilot plane blew up in the beginning.
Wait, yes. So which one? Where did he die at?
That's where I
The
thought
test
he was
pilot
going to
one?
die. Yeah, I thought he died in the test pilot, and then obviously he walks into a diner, and that wasn't the case. But that's what I thought when I saw it happen.
And basically, the whole movie is a flashback from the
Exactly.
test
Like
pilot
leading up
scene
to
on.
this, yeah.
That's what I thought they were doing. Yeah.
That they were going to reveal it at the end.
I also thought maybe towards the end he was gonna somehow sacrifice himself to save Rooster.
He did.
No,
He did.
but like
Again.
die. Sacrifice
Oh,
himself.
like truly die. Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Of like
sure.
during-
How cool was that to see the F-14 again?
Oh, that was
yeah,
amazing.
that was with all the analog controls on it.
And he's like, "This is so old."
Yeah.
That was, man. And then you see all the switches and stuff that they used to have and all that. It's really cool.
fantastic.
The can we talk about the mission though? Like it was so silly.
Was that Russia?
I
think North Korea.
They never say.
They say a rogue nation or a rogue state.
Right.
I'm thinking North Korea.
Yeah. I saw someone made, some super nerd made a comment of like, oh, they're using 5th generation F-18s and only Iran has them, so it must be Iran that they're doing this in. I'm like, yeah, I don't think we're bombing Iran. But the mission itself was, we kind of mentioned this before, very Star Wars influenced, but also totally felt like a video game mission of like, all right, you got to fly low under the radar because there's missiles and over this and over that. And
it was very New Hope for sure.
yeah, but but the fact that it was this impossible challenge mission then made the movie that much more interesting, that they're training for this Mission Impossible.
Yes. Mission Impossible.
And spoiler right there.
I didn't want to step on that. I wanted to leave that alone.
All
I
right.
thought that was really good.
Yeah, it's a shame the missiles that took out the runway couldn't just take out the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they had to send a missile
taxiway was
down.
fine.
The taxiway you leave. You don't need to touch the taxiway.
Why? If you messed up the runway,
Right.
Who cares?
Yeah. You only have so many missiles you can launch. They're very expensive, Zach. So
And there's oil tankers at the end, so clearly nobody can clear that.
No, I mean, it's too bad they didn't use it to take out the uranium refinery.
I know. That was one of the questions I had. Like
the one in the
like,
crater.
why can't we just bomb the crater? Like, why do we need like special? Because it's a movie. I understand why we need special jets, and I'm not gonna be like one of those guys like, why don't I do this? But at the same time, part of me was thinking, why not just bomb the crater?
I was so sucked into the movie, I didn't even think of that most obvious.
I mean, there were there's surface to air missile system, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that would have taken something out.
Yeah, but that was like 50 missiles they shot at the runway. It's like a bazillion of those things. I didn't even think of that.
How
Dang it.
cool was it that they used the plane catcher at the end, though? Like after he broke the
landing gear.
the landing gear.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Was that the moment you thought was CG, Zach?
No, it was at the very beginning, the first
Oh.
aircraft landing.
Okay.
We saw.
I mean, how did they do the landing without the landing gear?
They do that all the time.
Practically.
I mean,
They do that? They let planes go slide in on their nose?
Commercials jets can do that if they have to. Yeah, they're trained to do
And
that.
you practice these
Yeah.
things.
Right, but would they intentionally do that just for a movie? Like try to land a,
I'm
billion
sure.
dollar
I'm sure.
jet?
I'm sure those Navy pilots could do it any which way. You take one right one only or whatever. I'm sure they could. Those guys are incredible. Those guys can do anything. Those guys.
Well,
are
I'm
amazing.
less concerned about them being able to execute it and more like how much it costs to let a plane scrape its nose against the ground. I mean, like
I get the
Oh,
impression when
this
you're using
movie,
those
you know what I
nets,
mean?
That
Yeah, I
plane's
gotcha.
done for. Like that's just more to bring the pilots back. I don't think
Right.
they're then
That's why I
salvaging
think
that plane
maybe
and
that
setting it back up in the
That
air.
c- Yeah,
I
that
think
could
maybe
have been
that
CG.
landing was CG.
Just really good CG.
Well, I mean, you've seen these like fields of like decommissioned aircraft and stuff. They just have hundreds of airplanes sitting
Could be
there.
like on a cable or something like that. Like, I
Yeah,
get you're right. I don't
exactly.
think they actually crash an actual flying plane into the net, but
Right.
Sure.
they probably used a plane into the net with movie magic. It's a movie, guys.
And there was CG in this movie.
Of course.
I mean,
Of course.
they've never said there was no, like any missile, I'm
But
sure
there were no
they,
CG planes flying.
Right.
These planes were in the air flying,
right.
and that was cool.
I always use like
That's
the
definitely cool.
the Mad Max level of CG. Like Mad Max has CG in it. That's quite obvious. But
Mhm.
what you're focusing on is practical, and then the CG is enhancing what's around you. The CG is not the star of the show. And Maverick's doing the same thing. The planes are the star of the show, and the CG is just to enhance what's happening.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, that's well said.
Anything else spoilery that we haven't touched on?
It looks difficult to be a fighter pilot.
Not sure that's a spoiler, but okay.
Spoiler, I would love to sit in the back seat of an F-18 and go for a joyride. I know I'd pass out and throw up, but it'd be totally
all
worth
be
it.
sick.
Oh, yeah.
It would be a
completely.
blast. It would be a blast.
A couple of the actors said they threw up every day.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you guys ever seen when the Blue Angels takes like celebrities up? It's hysterical to watch. There's been a bunch of celebrities they've taken up, and it's hysterical to watch. And they try to
Have you
catch them
guys-
right before they get sick.
Have you
Huh.
guys watched the Tom Cruise James Corden video?
Oh my gosh! That's
Oh,
a masterpiece.
I've seen the thumbnail.
so
I've actually
good.
watched it. It's like 18 minutes
so
long.
It's worth
Okay.
watching. It's great.
All right.
It's way,
I don't like James Corden, but it's great.
It's way better than you think too. It's
All right.
totally worth
Yeah.
watching. It totally is.
Yeah.
It's
And you see the plane from the movie because it's Tom Cruise's plane.
It's his F-18
the Mustang.
or the Mustang.
No, he has
the
the
Mustang.
it's
Yeah.
the P-51 Mustang that he takes
Yeah.
him up
Yeah.
in. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
Mhm.
cool shot. Like at the very end, he and Jennifer Connelly are flying in that Mustang, and my father-in-law is like, it's like those are so hard to fly. That must be CG. And I'm like, no,
No, that's
I looked up
his.
later, like he owns
That's
that. That's
his-
his plane.
that's
That's
his.
him
Yeah, that's
flying
his
it.
plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are. I mean, according to him, those planes they're super fast and they're super touchy, and like they are not easy planes to fly whatsoever.
Wow. He's flown one of those?
I don't think he personally has,
Okay.
but he knows
That's-
pilots who have.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
Anything else?
Go see it in the theater. It's awesome.
It's just fun and it's perfect for Memorial Day weekend. It
Mhm.
gets all the USA vibes going. It's awesome.
It's his biggest opening.
I do think they
biggest
also
opening ever.
they also
Memorial
toned
Day.
down
Yeah.
some of the raw stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's enough there, but it's not quite as intense as it was in the first one.
Oh, you know what? One thing I really liked is they have this mission, right? And they're gonna blow up a uranium, refinery by a rogue nation, whatever. But they are not ever talking about how like we're saving the world or like we have
Right.
to do this or
Right,
the world's at
yes.
stake. They're doing it for the challenge and for each other, their wingmen. Like that's why they're doing that, and that felt real to me.
Like the stakes were high for them, but it was not like a high stakes for the world.
Sure, it was a strategic target.
Yep.
That would have been a problem for the US, but they're trying to
But yeah, like Zach said, though,
undercut
we're
it.
more focused on the team and like how are they going to accomplish this, not
Right.
What's going to happen if they don't.
definitely. Cool. Last chance. Anything else? Or are we out of here?
Only thing, if I can add, is I thought the cast, what I love that some movies do is that they have such a wide variety of characters that you never get enough of everybody. And that's what I thought this movie did so well. There's so many characters that we only heard one line from, but we
Yeah.
saw them a lot. And it was like, you don't get to know enough about each one. And I think that it was like an old school movie from that standpoint. It left you wanting more. Like, who is this dude? Like, one of my favorite lines was the one guy who kind of situates Maverick in the plane and stuff like that. I can't remember what that's called, what that position's called. And he says, "Ooh, I don't."
Situator.
It's a situator. Yeah, the air situator.
Yeah.
He says to him,
Sorry,
I
naval
don't like-
situator. This is the Navy, not the Air Force.
Gotcha. He says to him, "I don't like that face," and then Tom Cruise says, "The only face I got." And then they repeat that later on, but the stakes are totally different.
Mhm.
And that same kind of back and forth means something totally different. And I love that part of it because that's something you never saw with Maverick before, right? He just stood on his own. Besides Goose, he stood on his own. He didn't need anybody, but for him to let that be where it was kind of that kind of interaction, I thought that was really powerful too. And I thought that said a lot about how Maverick in that moment was kind of scared, like he didn't think he was coming back. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And well done.
I like the joke with Jennifer Connelly that he's in the Navy, he doesn't know how to Steer a boat.
I forgot about that. That's right.
That probably got my biggest laugh. Is like her
That's
in the Navy.
right.
Yeah.
That was great.
And this movie had like like themes that it was pulling, like Maverick's motto of "Don't think, just do."
Right.
And it always stayed consistent to that,
Mhm.
right? Like it wasn't like the subversion of what his motto is, "Saved the day" or something like that, or he learned. It was more like, he's passing on this knowledge that gets passed on.
Yeah.
They didn't try to like overthink it or overwrite it. They just like, this is the knowledge that he passed on, and it worked, because that's
Yeah.
how you fly, because he's the best of the best.
Not only did it work in the mission, but then it works in Miles Teller saving him.
Yes.
And then
Right.
they got a
Yep.
joke out of
Yep.
it.
Yeah, they sure
When
did.
he's like, "What were you
What were
thinking?"
you thinking? I was thinking the
You
exact
told me
same thing,
not to.
James. Yep.
Yeah. And he's like, "You told me not to think."
And then
It
he
was
just
good.
stared at him. He didn't know what to say. He didn't have any comeback for him after that, which I thought was great.
Yeah. I mean, I think in general, the strength of this movie is just that they could have been super obvious about some of these things, and instead they just kind of pulled threads over the course,
Mhm.
and
Sure.
it worked really well.
Yeah. Man, no other fives. Disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna give it a 5, but I'm definitely like this conversation and remembering these moments is making me enjoy the movie more. Like, I think things I kind of forgot about, and
It could be a 5 eventually for me.
right. It could get up there, but it wasn't.
Inflation's pretty high these days.
Yeah, it was. I mean, at the rate we're going, 8%, but it was not an instant 5 for me. I'll say that.
All right. Anything else?
No.
We're out. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye.